The devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood. Blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall. One wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right, welcome everybody to a Crimes After Dark episode again on what the hell night is this? Is this Tuesday night? Is it Tuesday night or is it Wednesday night? It's Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night. Yeah, I got some of my panels backstage. They're like, dude, no, it's not Tuesday. It's Wednesday. So anyways, welcome to the Crimes After Dark show. We're excited. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We got our panelists backstage. We're not going to have Joe or JJ from State of the Deep tonight. I think he's going to be off, or maybe he's coming in very late tonight. Shit, now I forget. See, I don't even have track of the days. Have exciting news to tell you in some regards. I have received my permission from the FAA to fly my drone commercially, so I can show footage on YouTube on my monetized channel. In fact, maybe I'll show a little bit of drone footage on my first test flight that I took with the drone, if it fits into the channel. We have more important things to talk about, but if you want to see some of that drone footage and what the drone capabilities are, I got some really cool footage of some really beautiful places that I could show tonight, because I found out that even though I recorded it when I didn't have my license officially, I'm allowed to show it because my intention was just to test the drone, and that's the intention that matters. So let's bring the panelists up. I got so many things I want to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about Delphi. We're going to talk about Idaho 4. We're going to talk maybe a little bit about Mickey Steins. We're going to talk about the Gonzalez family shaming people for the Idaho State Police drop in the Idaho 4 case. Got lots of different things I want to talk to my panelists about, get your reactions, kind of free form. And again, if you're out there in the audience, by the way, some people are giving us a lot of love lately, saying the channel's getting better, the panel's getting better, our vibe is getting better. We're doing great things. So thank you to the panelists as I bring you up. You guys are doing amazing things, and people are recognizing that we're kind of a cool thing. We got a great vibe here. So let's bring Dago up on stage. Dago, how you doing tonight?
Forget about it.
It's good to see you
tonight. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm excited. I'm always excited when we get together. Like, the energy just builds as it gets time to go on stage, and I'm excited about it. Lots of crazy shit. It's amazing that we're as busy as we are and still find it fun and entertaining. So it's very cool. And So to my mods, by the way, everybody in the mods, we've had a couple of weird dicey nights in a row. So my mods, be judicious about taking care of riffraff. So if it gets crazy in the chat, shut that shit down quickly. We want to have everybody have a good time and be respectful to each other. And sometimes it gets a little dicey in our chat. So we'll be careful about that. Anything on your mind, by the way, before I bring up any other panelists, anything you want to say in particular to you and your crowd that's joining us? I know you're co-streaming on your channel as well. So welcome to all the meatballs and everybody out there on your side.
I just want to welcome, I just wanted to welcome everybody from the True Crime Cafe and all the meatballs, of course, and the Blue Crew for those that are here. I appreciate all of you guys supporting us on both sides of the fence here, so on and so forth. So thank you all so much for being here, and thank you again for having me as part of making me part of this team over here. I love it.
It's amazing, and thank you for the support. To Michelle Rowe gave a donation to the channel and the cause. Thank you so much. Every little bit helps. We're struggling. We're like struggling musicians, only we're not doing. Although you actually are kind of a musician, aren't you? You music,
used
right?
to be, yeah, for sure. I mean, I still am a little bit, but
I kind of feel like what we do is
I can move around. Yeah, when you get old and you're a drummer, it doesn't work much for you.
No, drumming is very intensive. Yeah. All right, let's bring Robin on stage. Robin, how you doing? I caught you off guard. You were looking left.
Now I was looking left, looking right. Anyway, I'm doing well. How about yourself, gentlemen?
Wonderful.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. Thrilled to be here. Anything in your world going on today? Anything exciting?
No, just did the work thing. I'm always excited to be here, though, with everybody, our awesome mods. And we got the Den, and we got the Blue Crew, and we have all the meat, the balls in the sauce. I don't know how well I did that, but
good.
Well, I mean, I like how you separated. We got the meat and we've got the balls, but we should have
right.
Meatballs. I don't know.
The meat, the balls.
Yeah, we get the meat and the balls. But anyways, yeah. So it's good to be on panel again. Unfortunately we're going to be missing JJ from State of the Deep, so we won't be having him tonight. But we will get one up here, and then we will have a full crowd. I think maybe JJ will come in late. I can't remember. Is this the night he comes in late, or is he going to be out?
No, he said he's not going to be here tonight. Okay. He's not able to be here tonight. He's been working some crazy hours lately, and had some other stuff he had to get done. So as far as I know, unless he decides to bop on in, which is always awesome, but he said he wasn't probably going to be able to be here tonight.
He just messaged me. He won't be here tonight.
Son of a bitch needs to take this shit serious.
That's anyways.
What is wrong? Like, what is wrong with him that he would put his job before this? I mean,
right. I mean,
I don't get it.
Priorities.
Like tell my mods, like, what is wrong with you putting your kids before my show? Come on now.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I try to tell them.
People need to grow up.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing Kurt Cobain research, so.
So what about you, 1-1? Anything special today? Anything that exciting to talk about with the panel before we get going?
Yeah, just have cops beating people up in handcuffs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I was wondering if you can talk about that. Is that something you can talk about, or?
I won't use any names or anything, but
of course.
Eye socket fracture, and I mean he's gonna get what he has. I mean, he deserves it. I mean, he should. The guy has over 10 years on, but
let's make sure everybody understands what happened. I think what it was, was a cuffed suspect that spit on an officer, and then the officer kind of kicked his ass and broke his eye socket.
Yeah. So,
and again, when you're cuffed, the guy's not fighting back, so it's a little bit bad taste when you're there.
So basically, it was someone arrested. He was taking him out to debrief him. So every prisoner we have that comes in gets debriefed. He was pulling him out of the cell, and while he was pulling him out of the cell, he kind of like gave him like the detective gave him like a little push. Like, I don't know really why, not like hard, but just kind of like, I guess, like pushed him a little bit. Like, come on, like, let's go.
Like, move a little faster.
The guy turned. He's still handcuffed. The guy turned around. Yeah. And the detective went to kind of leg sweep him or something. I don't know what that. And he didn't hit him, and he completely fell on his ass himself. He just completely fell. The guy never touched him, and I'm imagining, because you can't hear audio or anything, but you can see the video. The guy was probably making some comments, like making fun of him. So when he got up, the detective he has the cell key in his hand. I'm not sure if he actually hit him with it, but it was in his hand, and he slapped the guy twice, like a backhand slap twice.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't enough, then he slams the guy against the cell, and his head against the cell, and I guess like his side of his face, his eye, like area hit the cell. This guy, he's already suspended. So I know. I know, like people will say, like, "Oh, well, nothing's gonna happen." No, something's gonna happen. He's gonna get fired.
No.
He's actually our internal affairs. They already took the cell key. So we had to order, like, because it's like a huge key. It's like specially made. They took the key to voucher it as evidence. He's probably gonna be arrested for assault too, because he had the weapon in his hand, and he caused a serious physical injury. And yes, where I work, we do have unions. The union's probably not going to defend him either. So he's gonna get fired. He got suspended. He lost his career now. He's also going to have a huge lawsuit that he's not going to get any. He's going to have to get his own lawyer. And
I was going to say, I hope they don't take the money that they have to pay this man out of your salary or anybody else, because that's going to be a big ass lawsuit.
And let this, in a way, I mean, people should know this already, but let this in a way be a lesson. The police are not above the law. And so, I mean, just like 1-1 saying, I mean, this person is going to face his own arrest now, and his own prosecution.
I mean, I could tell you, I have over 20 years on, and things are very different now with body cameras and reports, and things always evolve and change. But the way I was taught, even 20 years ago, even before body cameras, I basically, the senior guys that trained me that I worked through the 80s, worked through, the crack epidemic and all that crazy stuff that went on.
Right.
What I was always taught was, once the handcuffs come on, that's it. It's over. Yeah. If you're gonna fight, someone runs from us, well, it's your fault. Don't run. Yeah. But if you're gonna run, don't get caught. But once the handcuffs come on,
the physical abuse has to stop. The guy can't fight back,
and it's hard, and it can be hard. You have to be able to turn that switch off.
Right. I was going to ask you earlier. I think you said it, but I might have missed it. Was it a detective or a patrol officer that did this?
It's a detective.
Detective, yeah.
That's worse. That's so much worse. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that story. It reiterates.
Thank you for being one of the good ones. 1-1. Thank you.
And it reiterates that again, good cops don't like bad cops either, and that was a bad moment.
No,
and
he was
to
wrong.
be fair, it was a bad moment in time, but we have to face our consequences.
Right.
Yes.
So. Anyway, so thanks for sharing that story. Do you want to do a monologue?
Sure, I got it. Yeah, sure. All right. Jackson and Juliana, my wife, love you guys. Have a good night. Right. Is it good to be alive in the den?
Always.
On a Wednesday night?
Yeah.
I lose track of the days too. So
nice.
I did that.
Here we go. They tell you the truth is simple, clean, neat, packaged in headlines and sound bites. But the truth doesn't live there. The truth lives in the shadows, in the gaps between statements, in the silence after the sirens fade, in the places no one wants to look, because looking changes you. This is where stories fracture, where narratives collapse, where good and evil stop wearing uniforms, where innocence and guilt stop being obvious. This is where certainty dies. Welcome to Devil's Advocates, a place where nothing is sacred, no narrative is safe, no story is off limits, and no conclusion is immune from question. We don't chase comfort, We don't sell closure. We don't package pain into palatable lies. We pull the thread. We follow the contradictions. We sit in the uncomfortable silence, and we ask the questions nobody wants asked. Because sometimes the villain isn't the monster they showed you. Sometimes the hero isn't clean. Sometimes the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. And sometimes the truth is darker than any fiction you've ever heard. This isn't a podcast for spectators. It's for thinkers, for skeptics, for those who understand that truth doesn't come with a bow on it. Here, we don't pick sides. We dissect them. We don't follow narratives. We interrogate them. We don't accept versions of events. We rebuild them piece by piece from the ground up. If you're here for comfort, this isn't your place. If you're here for certainty, you won't find it. But if you're here for truth, the real kind, the kind that unsettles you, the kind that follows you home, the kind that makes you question everything you thought you knew, then you're exactly where you belong. Welcome to Devil's Advocates. And with that, live from New York, it's Wednesday night.
Well done. Well done. Thank you very much.
Good job, brother.
All right, so let's talk. It's kind of a free form night. I invite people again. If I don't know if Robin's put the link on there, but if somebody wants to maybe take the stage with us, we might entertain that tonight. Since we have a lower panel, we don't have five or six people on screen, so we have room to maybe squeeze somebody in. That's always a hit or miss. By the way, I want to make some new expectations when we do have people on the camera. When you come up, and we want to encourage you to come up. Ask a question or two. Just have a question or two planned. Ask the question, and then in short order, we'll kind of dismiss you, and then the panel will address your question. We're not going to spend a lot of time because it's too easy to kind of bring somebody up, and you don't know when the conversation ends, kind of thing. So come up, ask your question or two. We'll have a brief interaction, and then we'll let you go behind scenes, and then we'll more at length address your questions and your comments. So if you want to do that, please queue yourself up backstage. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. I do want to talk about Delphi for sure tonight, because I was really starting to, I cover multiple cases, and different days of the week I try to focus a different case, and I was focusing today on the Delphi case, and so I wanted to basically address Judge Fran Gull, but I wanted to put that on hold just for like oh, man. Already. So let's talk for a moment, though. For those, we last night, and I see that we do have a guest backstage, so just hang out there for a minute, and we'll bring you up for a question or two, and then we'll do that. But give us a minute to get past this dialogue. So we watched a lot of crime scene photos that were released by Idaho State Police and the Idaho 4 case. Within a short amount of time, they pulled those photos back off. We have reasons to believe there's at least one reason we think it might have been pulled. There could have been other reasons that was pulled. But the Gonzalez family did a post on their family page, which multiple people sent me a picture of because people are on their family page. And it just blasted. It blasted the public that you're all going to take time looking at those crime scene photos, and you're all sick. You're all doing this for your own jollies and your own money. And this is our family, and you're a disgrace for talking about it. Blah blah blah. And I just want to reiterate. I mean, I want to ask the panel what your thoughts about it, but I want to reiterate that here's my view on it. It's a little hard for me when the families of the victims are blasting the public for wanting to know the truth of what happened that night, when there's a conflict of interest, when the families are now suing for $500 million in money, which relies on Bryan Kohberger being the guy. So at this point, they have a vested interest to not hear the truth if it wasn't him, because they lose millions of dollars each family if Bryan Kohberger didn't do it, or if there's something else. And so now it looks a little disingenuous to shame us all for trying to get to the truth when you literally are looking at a $500 million lawsuit that again is at risk if it turns out you were wrong about what happened. What do you guys think about that whole thing? Did you see that response or?
Oh, what they put? Yes, I did. Yeah. And I'll say this right here and now. I've always spoken my compassion for and condolences for what they've gone through, period.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why I'm sitting here right now, why I sit on my panel and talk about it, period. because I want and think that they deserve absolute truth and justice in this case, and they're not getting it, in my opinion, which is why the only reason why I'm looking at these photos, because I want to see what we can see within the photos that may tell some truth, because we haven't received it as far as I'm concerned. And I feel like they should want that as well. And I also agree with you that as soon as the lawsuit dropped, showing that it's real, it was rumored for a while and we didn't see any documents, and now we do. And I said this live on my panel, and I think I said it in here as well, that I hope that I'm wrong, and this is not a money grab, because if it is, shame on you, all due respect, but shame on you for making the statement that you made about us, because you're doing worse, in my opinion, by going after this school for this money, for whatever reason it is. I hope that you're doing it to try to pull more discovery. That's what I hope it's for. And I hope that you prove me wrong believing that that's what this is. Otherwise, shame. That's all I can say. I'm sorry. That's my thoughts.
What about you guys? Robin, what do you have thoughts about what the
I just cannot, as I'm not a parent, but I've helped raise, nieces and a nephew and things like that. And for me, no matter what, I would want the truth. No matter what. And I would not accept just them saying, trust me, this is the dude. And seeing everything that we're seeing, reading all of the documents, looking at pictures. I mean, going back to the beginning in a lot of instances to read interviews and watch old news clips from when it first came out and everything. And there's no way in hell I would rest until I knew for sure that the person in jail was the right person and that they weren't the only one.
Yeah.
I would want each and every person involved to go down.
Right. And I want to get one's opinion and have a chance to weigh in, but I have to comment on that too, because like you, I felt in the early stages a lot of things. One, I felt that Steve Gonzalez believed there was more than one person involved, and that he was feeling that if it went to trial, it was going to come out. I think he hinted, this is just the start of the surface. Let's go after this guy, but wait till you see what's going to come out on trial. Yeah. And I think Steve was pissed when he got robbed of the opportunity to go after the others involved. So I don't know what to feel about what's happening now. The other point I have about that is I don't think that Christy and Steve have always been on the same page. Nope. She's always seemed like they wanted to put a nice little bow around this and be done with it, where Steve seems to. So there's a part of me that I'm not even sure the Gonzalez's are all on the same page. I don't know who's running their posts, whether it's just Christy or whether that's Steve's sentiment or not. But like you, and I'm going to get to one's opinion in a minute, like you, I thought in some regards that ultimately the families would want to know the truth. And especially if somebody else did the killing, or somebody else helped murder their child, that they would like to know that who it was and that they got held responsible as well. But again, you begin to wonder now if they want the truth. Because if the families now are getting deals to go as the face of Othram Labs, such as Ethan's family, right? If the Chapins are now going to be the face of Othram Labs and they're getting a contract and they're getting a deal and they're making money, and if everybody's making the rounds and they're going on TV shows, and if they're making millions of dollars and they're getting GoFundMe reimbursements, and now they're $500 million, now at the point, do they really want the truth? Like, that's the question. And I don't want to be that guy, but I'm like, I have to ask myself, do they at this point really want the truth? And now, do we just all shut up because the families themselves don't want the truth anymore? I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think we can. Go ahead, one. I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah, one. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I mean, I do have kids, and I could tell you, hopefully, I never have to have anything remotely close to this happening. I would be clawing and punching and kicking until my last breath. Mm-hmm. There's no amount of money. I know people are like, well, it's easy for you to say. No, it is easy for me to say. There is no amount of money that you could offer me that would make me stop. And along with what Robin said, and then what you just chimed in on, Lee, even if I was if I was confident that Kohberger was one of the people involved, great. But if I had the evidence, if it was there that showed me that there was something else going on, that there were other people, I wouldn't stop.
Yeah, I'd want them all.
I may even be worse than Steve G. I would be everywhere, kicking and screaming. I mean, I just, I sent again. I'm not gonna post their info and give them props, because people are entitled to their opinion. That's fine. But I did send you the info, Dago, like about a week ago. So there's like a defense attorney or whatever that made this whole, video basically bashing all of us.
Yes,
and
I watched it.
And the Goncalves family highlighted it, saying
they followed it right up. Yes,
and
sir.
I can't understand just pulling just one little thread, one little thing of this case doesn't. Just a little thing. Like right now, these photos came out. We pretty much know, 99% Kaylee was not killed in Maddie's bedroom. Well, and this stuff is, I can't imagine what it would be for the families, they want this kind of to go past them, and it just brings, it's their child, and I get that, but they have to know. I mean, I can't, but like Kaylee's sister was going crazy, right? She wants all this info and everything. How could they possibly? Some of them have had to seen some of our podcasts, whatever.
Oh, I know
that.
Us
or you or Pav or Lana.
They've watched a lot.
We're not pulling stuff out of thin air.
No.
And look, and here's the thing. Like, I have to be super, super careful the way I say this. I don't believe in vigilante justice, but I want to tell you how passionately I feel. So this is not me saying I would, but I want to tell you the level. There was a point in which I thought Steve Gonsalves might have actually known that somebody else did it, and he thought it was going to come out in trial. And I said to my wife, like, again, this is kind of like, it's a feeling, right? It's not a confession or anything. It's a feeling. I said, look, if Steve called me up today and said, I know who killed my daughter and helped it, I'll say, let's get in the fucking car and let's go take care of it. Like, we will get fucking revenge. That motherfucker's not going to get away with that shit. And I will fucking help that guy if I can get justice one way or another. Now that sounds horrible, but that's how I feel. I'm that passionate about it. Like, I'm not going to fucking let that fly. If you know who did it, fucking tell me. We'll go get in the fucking car and take care of that shit. Like, that's how mad I am. So does everybody have that kind of passion for getting to the truth? You want to fucking get the truth, and we'll burn the whole fucking thing down if we have to get to the truth.
Absolutely. I'm where I'm at, Lee. We're like in the same boat, paddling together. So 100%. And that's why I won't give up on it. And I've had that same exact feelings from like the first week of this. I have kids. I have 7 kids, you guys, for those of you that don't know that. 7 children, okay? And I have 2 daughters and I have 5 boys. Every one of them are gold to me. They're my life. And my grandkids, of course, are. I'm just saying, you guys understand, if you have children, even if you don't have children, like Robin said, nieces, nephews, you can still feel how I can't even explain what I'm trying to say. I absolutely feel the same way you do, Lee. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just that's how passionate I am to bring justice to everyone involved, because I just fundamentally don't think it's one guy. And I want to see everything. I want to see it come. And it seems like the families are giving up. The families want a simple answer. I don't want to say they want the payday, because here's the counter argument, right? No amount of money is going to bring them back. So if you think that somehow they're going to feel better because they got millions of dollars, we're wrong, because it's never going to bring their child back. But yet, at the end of the day, millions of dollars is an incentive to just say, you know what, I think I'll just let that go.
And that's why I said I hope that they're doing what I hope they're doing it for.
Yeah.
For this guy and not for the other thing, because I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just a money grab. It's a money grab. It's a money grab." I'm praying to God it's not, okay? Because I know how I would want, just like you said, I would be driving forward nonstop. So
I'm gonna address Queen of the Denial's comment, and I don't want to. Again, I want to talk a little Delphi tonight, so I want to not run the risk of completely diverging again all night long on just Idaho 4, because there is, in the Delphi case, I'm finding similarities to Idaho 4. So that's what I kind of want to talk about tonight. But the question about like Queen of Denial was bringing up the idea that I'm beginning to think Kaylee didn't die in the bed with Maddie, and I think we all are starting to feel that way. When we looked at the crime scene photos, it does not look like she died there. In fact, the more I put it together with Dylan saying that she thought Kaylee was on the second floor, I think Kaylee may have died on the second floor. And I think Kaylee was brought up to the fourth floor. And again, if that's the case, once again, if that's the case, there's no way one guy did that in 8 minutes and killed somebody on a different floor and hauled them up and staged a crime scene all in 8 minutes. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Now, we can't prove it. But I'm telling you, I have a real strong belief too that she didn't die in that room.
We got something that we can show though. Do you have the photos?
I can get the photos. Yeah. What do you want to show?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, we brought. Yeah, if you pull up around 4, it's around 403. This address will address her question kind of directly.
Oh, the table.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put that on screen.
So it's like 403, 404, 405, 406, 407, 408.
Yeah, and if you guys think about Kaylee's injuries while he's doing that, a lot of her injuries came from the back of her, the back of her body. To me, that's possibly her running away from this person. Okay, her liver was cut through, and just a lot of the injuries were on the back side of her body, from what I am understanding. So that tells me she was running from somebody, which would tell me she's very possibly running. And I still think she may have been killed in Xana's room and taken back upstairs, or at least close to Xana's room, is my opinion. It has been for a while.
Right. And that's go ahead.
I was just say, so you see the blood on the, so you see the blood. Now you go to the next photo.
Yep.
It's more blood. Go to the next photo. See that blood?
Whose blood is that? 1-1.
It's all Kaylee's.
Thank you.
It's all Kaylee's blood. So if Kaylee was just attacked and killed upstairs, why is it only her blood on the table? It's only her blood.
That's what I think. She was running through there and being attacked from behind. 100%.
Right. So it would be with Dylan, with what Dylan said, that she ran. Kaylee. I honestly think. What it looks like, she locked herself. She saw something. She saw someone attacking Maddie. She ran into the bathroom and she locked the door. And I think someone kicked the door in, and somehow she was able to get away and tried running down the stairs. Maybe the guy, whoever the perp was trying to attack her. That's what you see, all the blood, because there is blood. There is Kaylee's blood and Maddie's blood along the hallway. So. If you say like, oh, she got away, but she didn't get, she wasn't attacked, but her blood is on the hallway. So is Maddie.
To explain that too, if Kaylee and Maddie's blood, again, I'm still thinking Maddie was already attacked. Kaylee caught on or ran into that situation and bolted, and that person chased her. So Maddie's blood's on that knife already, or whatever weapon it was.
Yeah. So why is not Maddie's blood down there? Yeah.
And no, but that's what I'm saying. They're going at Kaylee. They got both the blood transfer. It happens. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And that's how it ends up down there. It makes perfect sense to me. I do not believe that she died in that room upstairs. I'm sorry. Or that she was killed in that room upstairs.
No.
Yeah. And it sucks because asking those questions or even stating those opinions that I don't think she may have, what we're really saying is, what we're seeing in the evidence doesn't seem consistent, and now I think she may have not have died. And yet we're going to be shamed for saying that. Shame on you, you sons of bitches. They told you she was killed in that room. That's where she died. And you're like, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Look at the photos. And yet we're the assholes for pointing out the inconsistency and the fuckery in this case.
This is a perfect example too, because you have two basically something happened right along the stairs and the living room. But if you want to just compare the bedrooms, look at Xana. Look at Xana's bedroom. Look at the amount of blood.
A lot.
And I know Ethan's legs were sliced or stabbed or whatever, and may have gotten a vein. That room is like a war scene. That's what it should look like.
Yes.
That's what
Right.
it should look like upstairs. And how do I know that?
Right.
And how do I know that? I can tell you because I've been on scene, and I've said this 1,000 times. Dago he'll chime in. He's EMS. He knows too. I've been on scene many times. There are not homicides. There are just two people fighting. Someone gets a bloody nose. Someone gets a bloody nose. Someone has their eye cut. Someone has their mouth, a tooth knocked out. The amount of blood that comes from the face is insane.
Yeah.
And Kaylee's face they said was almost unrecognizable. It was bashed in. There should be enormous amounts of blood
all over that room. All over that room.
And there wasn't. Comparatively, there's no. I mean, we're beating a dead horse, but there's no way the wounds they described that happened to her is not consistent with the crime scene in that room.
No.
And a lot of things in that case don't make sense. And yet, it doesn't. The official story doesn't make sense. A lot of the rumors are making a lot of sense looking at the photos. Like Kaylee may have been in her own room. Her bed was turned down. Somebody could have been in the closet. That had been said many times that somebody could have been waiting in the closet for her. Did she start there? Did she go down the stairs? Was she chased down the stairs? Did she die? Dylan said, I think Kaylee's on the second floor in Xana's room, because maybe she was at some point on the second floor in Xana's room. Like, all of it makes sense until the narrative comes in and tells you that you're all wrong. It was one guy that killed everybody in their sleep. They were all sleeping. And that's not true. We know it wasn't true. And so every step of the way, we have to fight them. And we have to look like the assholes for saying everything you're saying makes no sense. And yet the rumors out there make more sense than your narrative. Your story makes less sense than the rumors that are out there.
And a lot of people are saying that there would be more blood transfer from the second floor to the third floor if somebody was carried up that way.
Yes.
Don't forget, you guys, there is evidence of somewhat of a cleanup as well.
Yes.
Don't forget that. That's important because that makes that change. Okay.
You pointed out, Dago, there's a freaking a lake of amino black at the back sliding glass door. There's another pretty big lake of amino black outside of Dylan's bedroom door. So, and they stated there was evidence of a cleanup. Somebody could have died and bled out in a different area, and blood was cleaned up. And then and again, not to get super morbid, once a heart stops beating, they're not pumping out blood anymore. So there would be less blood flow. So if they died on a different place, they could be moved and maybe not transfer as much blood. There's a lot of ways that it could have happened. And again, I realize it sounds like crazy conspiracy theory, but
real quick, Nick, let me address something real fast, because I'm so tired of seeing this head all the time, and it's not against anybody in here. If you're seeing it out there anywhere or hearing it out there anywhere, please call bullshit on it. Dylan is a woman. Dylan has always been a woman.
Right,
Dylan will always be a woman, period. That's so, like, I am so ridiculously tired of hearing that. Stop, guys. Nobody here, but you guys are hearing it places and tell them, stop it. That's bullshit. That's not true. If anything else, I may not believe what she says, but she's a woman through and through, always has been, always will be. End of story.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. Like, a lot of times people say the unknown male DNA at the house is Dylan's because Dylan's really a guy. I get annoyed at that as well, and it sucks too, because it sucks. I don't like to go through that whole thing either. So I appreciate you saying something. Okay, look, we're not done with Idaho 4, but let's talk a little bit about Delphi. So I wanted to talk because Dago, I think even maybe Robin, were you into the Delphi case for a long time before you met me and stuff as well? Robin?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you guys know these details way better than me, but when I was going back and look, I was doing, so here's how it started. Judge Fran Gull. Is it Gull or Gal? I think it's Gull, Gull, right? But anyway,
I don't ask me because I'm gonna call her something else. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So Judge Fran Gull announced recently in the Delphi case that she will not be seeking re-election for judge at the end of this year. Judges serve 6-year terms, and so what she basically said was, I don't have another 6 years in me, so I'm not going to even start a 6-year term. I'm just going to retire at the end of this year.
Now.
people in the Richard Allen case kind of said, well, this is a great win for Richard Allen. And I want to start by saying, I don't think it's as big of a win as people think in the Richard Allen case. And I'll tell you why.
No.
The attorneys for Richard Allen have appealed. That's going to go to an appellate court. Fran Gull is a trial court judge. She wouldn't be overseeing the appeal of Richard Allen. The appeal goes to an appellate court. So she wouldn't even have anything to do with the appeals process. So for those who think that, boy, it's good that and first of all, she's there for another year. She's going to be through the end of this year in December. But really, it's almost a moot point that she's retiring because it's an appeals issue at the moment. Now, it is a little nuanced. There's more things available. And this is also important for the Idaho 4 case. There's a difference between an appeal and post-conviction relief. And what people need to understand is they say, oh, well, Bryan Kohberger, for example, in the Idaho 4 case, waived his right to appeal, and it's all done. He can't do anything about it. Not true. An appeal is a different process than post-conviction relief. And post-conviction relief, by the way, allows you to challenge things like, I wasn't allowed to bring in alternate witnesses. I wasn't allowed to present things during the Franks hearing like fog lights. Or that's the kind of stuff that can be handled at a post-conviction relief. It's not an appeal. An appeal is basically something along the lines of the judge did something illegal, and therefore the whole trial was illegal. But a judge can technically do things correctly by letter of the law and still run an unfair trial. And that's where post-conviction relief would come in. Now, where that comes with is Fran Gull could get involved in post-conviction relief issues. So they could be like, hey, Fran, can you review whether you did something fair or not? And she'd be like, yeah, I totally did it fair. So yes, if she steps down and it gets to the post-conviction relief part, it's a good thing perhaps that Fran Gull was gone. But I wanted to ask you guys about that history, about again, like the Idaho 4 case, in Richard Allen's case, a different judge was originally appointed. I forgot that name. Diner, something like Diner was the last name of the judge that was originally assigned to the case.
Yeah, I think it was Diner.
And
you mean in Delphi?
In the Delphi case.
Yeah. Sorry.
So Judge Diner was assigned to the case, and he very quickly, and listen, so much is similarity to Idaho 4. The prosecutor is the one who asks for gag orders. So just like Bill Thompson in Idaho 4 case, the prosecutor in the Delphi case wanted everything gagged and sealed. And the judge in that case, Diner, said something to the effect of Diener. Is it Diener? Is it pronounced Diener?
It's Diener, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay, Diener. So Diener says essentially, this is too much for me. The public, and here's the fucking thing I thought was funny. I raged about this on my video this morning. The public wants answers and they want this to be transparent. And I'm tired of having to fight the public asking me about it because it's all supposed to be sealed. And I'm getting tired of having to tell people they can't look at anything when the public wants to know answers. And please get the public off my ass. I can't handle the stress. That was basically the bitch of Judge Diener. It was, I don't want to have to deal with the public because the public wants to have a transparent trial and the prosecutor wants it all sealed. And so he quit. He recused himself from the case. And then another judge took over and things went to hell in a handbag when Fran Gull took over. Similarly, in Idaho 4 case, Bryan Kohberger is appointed judge. Shortly into that case, judge, he didn't recuse himself. That was a trial that was moved. Yeah, go ahead. There
was Judge Megan Marshall was the first judge, and then Judge came on, and then he was granted the change of venue, and then Hippler showed up. Sorry.
Yeah, right. So again, the similarities are strange, right? So you have a judge in a small town that's appointed. They step down or recuse themselves. It gets moved to another special judge or a different jurisdiction, and that judge becomes arguably a major problem. Like the trial just gets total shit play from that point out. Yes. So I find those things interesting. Go ahead.
We may have another case of that because apparently Judge Gull's daughter is going to be running. She's the deputy prosecutor, and she is going to be running to take her mother's place.
Oh, my God.
I cannot deal with another one of her. I'll just tell you right now, no way in hell. I'm sorry. Nope.
Well, let's just, I mean, if look, so I've been told Judge Gull makes Hippler look like a choir boy. If that's the case, let's hope that the apple has fallen far from the tree on her daughter if her daughter's running. But yeah.
Judge Gull is something I've never seen before, you guys. true to God, never
A
ever.
whole nother level.
I mean, the things that she did, I didn't think you could do as a judge, and she did it and got away with it.
And like, for example, I'm going to do my best for those people who are kind of newer to the case or whatever, or maybe you're old and you guys can correct me, because I'm not above being told where I got it wrong. This is part of what I wanted to do tonight, is have you guys who've been listening to this case longer than me to correct me so I can say it correctly. Like I was pronouncing Rosie's name wrong, the attorney. I was like saying Rosie or something like that because it looked like Rosie to me. And so I don't even know how to pronounce the names. But here's what I was thinking. From what I understand, and again, I didn't think the judge could do. So Judge Gull basically, so there was an allegation that one of the attorneys for Richard Allen had leaked something to a true crime podcast. And she said, what you did deserves you guys basically being fired from this case. And so here's your choice. You will voluntarily step down and tell people that you've decided to recuse yourself from the case, or I will do it anyways, dismiss you from the case, and I'll publicly shame you in public and essentially ruin your career. And so they chose, one of the guys chose to quote unquote voluntarily step down. Go ahead, Diego. I see you already got points you want to make.
100%, absolutely. And Robin, you can back me up on it because I know you followed this too. Before she did that, they did this all in her quarters, okay?
Private chambers, yep.
As they go in, I don't know, I can't remember how many of it, Robin, you might, but multiple, and I mean multiple, uniformed police officers walked into the courtroom and took a seat. An intimidation factor, 100%. Yep. They go in back, come out, and this woman, I can't stand this woman, I swear to God. He's absolutely right. And as she said, how did she put it? It was something like to unbeknownst to me or some stupid shit like that. Like,
yes, it was like it was a surprise.
Like it was a surprise. Yeah. Are you? What? I was screaming, you guys, screaming because I knew what she did. These officers sat down in the jury box, like, here we are.
It's just evil.
It was so ridiculous, so ridiculous.
So, Judge, let me word it this. Let me word it this way. Judge Gull had the gall to pretend like she was surprised that Richard Allen's attorney was going to step down when she literally threatened them and said, you will step down or I will dismiss you publicly and shame you in public. And by the way, that was recorded, that those behind the closed quarters things was recorded and on record. And so one of the attorneys went to the Supreme Court and said, review what the judge told them. The judge flat out told them, you will voluntarily dismiss yourself or I will have you dismissed and I'll shame you publicly. And so that was part of a Supreme Court appeal, right? And they got reinstated ultimately. But again, that whole it starts to make Hippler look like a choir boy. Like that's how it started.
And they also, if I remember right, Robin, correct me again, they tried to have her recuse herself as well, removed from the case. And they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. I don't know what the fear was of that, but they would not have her recuse herself. And I was I just don't know how you get away with this.
I don't remember why that was either, but
no, this was hilarious. This is a great moment because I love getting up to speed on this. A great moment. The defense team. So from what I understand is Richard Allen had 3 attorneys. 2 of them kind of quote unquote voluntarily stepped down. One stayed on and said, by the way, what just happened to my cohorts was bullshit. I want them reinstated, and asked the judge to be recused and the Supreme Court to get involved. The Supreme Court went to the judge and said, hey, we want you to kind of give your defense on why you did this. And she lawyered up. The judge lawyered up. She's like, well, and here's what she said. The state attorney general doesn't want to represent me, so I need time to find another attorney. Like the judge is literally lawyering up to defend herself against the bullshit actions that she did.
And that's what you just said. The state attorney general didn't want to represent her for a good reason because he knew what she was doing was absolute bullshit. Okay, it's a disaster, and she's still sitting on that bench.
And then people wonder why they don't trust the legal system.
Thank you.
When they watch a case like that.
Right. And that's how it started. That's how it started. And again, she, the we talked about this a little bit, I think, backstage before we went on tonight. And Dago, I think this was backstage. Shit, I lose track now. Did we say this public or backstage? You and I both, I think, had an initial reaction when we heard the whole Odinist thing. That were like, that can't be real. Somebody's grasping. Holy shit, it was fucking real. But the judge apparently also thought that can't be real and basically said, I'm not going to allow you guys to even talk about this whole Odinist angle, despite the fact that the FBI looked into the Odinist angle. The lead detective thought it was an Odinist angle. They had fucking officers at the court looking over Richard Allen with Odinist patches on. But shamefully, me too. I was like, that can't be real. Is that real?
An FBI task force officer was murdered in front of his office because he believed in the Odinistic theory.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, come on.
But the fact that the judge basically ruled, I'm not even going to allow you to go down that path. When the lead detectives were looking into it, FBI specialists came in talking about the ritualistic nature of the murders and whether it could have been a ritual and whether it was a pagan ritual. Like they had specialists from the FBI saying, yeah, there's earmarkings of this being a Nordic ritual. And yet she still was like, yeah, we're not going to go down.
You weren't even allowed to say the word in her courtroom, you guys. She would not allow you to say Odinism in her courtroom, or she was going to have you held in contempt of court. This woman was insane over this. So it's either she didn't believe it or she's involved in it. It's one of them two things, as far as I'm concerned.
Correct. This it's laughable. Correct me if I'm wrong about this detail. I heard this detail. Across from the courthouse is a bar called the Odin's Den, and they covered up the sign during the trial so that people wouldn't see. Like literally, you can't talk about Odinism because it's not a real thing. But I'm going to have an order that they cover the sign Odin's Den across the street from the fucking courthouse.
And you can say it's not a real thing all you want, but the attorney that stepped in when Rosie was recused and all that stuff, William Librato, said that he didn't believe in it either. And when he came into the town and was driving around town, he said it was everywhere. It's absolutely real. There's people that have spare tires on the back of their Jeeps with the covers on the back that have Odin's spear on the back of them. It's all over the town, you guys. It's real. And he said he could, and the look on his face was classic. He had the same look I have right now, like
it's real?
Like that. Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy. It is crazy.
So I just. The case has me astounded. Again, I'm really interested to see how this plays out with the appeal, because again, the appeal is just the start of this. Because even the appeal, if for some reason the appeal doesn't go through, and boy, the way, like somebody in the chat said, that appeal is extremely well written. That's how I jumped into this case. Yeah. I read the appeal and I started doing videos on it. I'm like, holy shit, this appeal! Like, are you kidding me? This happened to Richard Allen in prison? Are you fucking kidding me? That's how they got the confession. Like, it was sick. And yet I still have people that'll tell me, DA, you asshole, that guy pled guilty. So nobody pleads guilty to something they didn't do.
They do if you're coerced to, or if you're drugged to, or if they're forced to,
or if they mentally break you and make you have a psychotic break.
For any of you that believe that, if you've heard the confession calls, I think it's the third call. In that call, Richard Allen, you can hear the change in his tone and his voice and in his demeanor. He says as he's talking to his wife, "No, Kathy, I have to do this. There's somebody standing here. I have to do this." Mm-hmm. What the fuck else does that tell you guys? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, one could argue his life was in danger if he didn't confess. Not
to mention there was also, I can't remember his name. Mind you guys, if you don't know this, the man was sent to prison from his initial indictment. They sent him straight off to prison. There was no jail time in the county jail. They sent him to prison before he was ever even looked at. Okay. There was another inmate in the same prison he was in, Westville, I'm sorry, that reported all of this stuff, wrote it down in a statement that they were abusing him, drugging him, coercing him, threatening him, his family, all this. Now, again, understand something, that if another inmate in a situation like that comes forth with corruption and tells on the people that are doing it, they're not gaining anything but negative attention, folks. So there's no other reason for that man to do that other than to be honest. So think about that.
And another thing that struck me as super sad. And again, if and by the way, it looks like you got a gift on your side over there for your chat.
So thank you so much, Missy Moo. God bless, dear. I appreciate that so very much.
One of the things that really made my heart break for the man, and again, if he's guilty, then I'm going to feel horrible saying this, right? But there was a moment where he said, oh God, it's horrible. He was saying to his wife, if this ever gets to be too much for you, say the word and tell them that I will tell them anything they want to hear.
Yep.
He literally told his wife, if you get to the point where, I'm in here and I'm being abused and I'm being starved and being kept in solitary confinement, I'm being treated like shit. But if it becomes too much for you out there that you can't handle the stress of me being on trial, just say the word and I will tell them whatever they need to hear, such as, yeah, I killed those girls, I guess. And away I go to fucking jail if it gets too much for you. And I'm like, fuck, man, are you kidding me?
He's right. It's true. And then every time he would meet with his attorneys, the first thing he would ask them, is Kathy okay? Is my daughter okay? Is my family okay? Because they were being threatened. He was being threatened that they were going to kill his family day after day after day after day. So, yeah, Lee's right like that. And I would have done the same thing. His husband to my wife, so on and so forth. That's what you do to protect the ones you love, period. But it's so sad. It is heartbreaking. I agree with you.
Yeah, it is. And what makes me more angry is you listen to that and you think, man, that's what it sounds like to me. A guy who's literally willing to give up his life to take stress off of his wife. And yet then people will say that guy's a piece of shit pedophile. And I hope he gets the shit beat out of him in prison. And I hope they broke his mind. And if I was a cop, I would fuck him up in prison too. Like the shit that I've heard people say, I'm just like, this is horrendous. If you guys really feel that that's justified, I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. It just don't.
Yeah. So I was curious if you guys, want. I don't know if you. I mean, it sounds like you covered it a lot, Dago. Can you give me some highlights of other fuckery that the judge did in this trial? Like, I know I'm just scratching the surface now when I heard about this. What other kind of highlights of fuckery did she do?
She absolutely. One of the main things that bothered me is she would not allow third-party defense at all. So they didn't give the jury didn't hear a quarter of the evidence in the case, in my opinion, from what we know. Okay. I'm sure Robin will agree to this. She only allowed specific things to be there. Obviously, we know that you could even think the words Odinism or you'd have been arrested in her courtroom. Okay. So that was one of the biggest things. There was no third-party defense allowed. There was a lot of things that they could, well, the biggest one was when she blackmailed the defense team into recusing themselves. That was the biggest. Just a lot of stuff like that. She would not give, kind of like Hippler. When the defense is asking for things, she just denied everything. She denied almost everything they asked for, in my opinion, if I remember correctly. Robin, am I right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was very, very little that the defense ever was able to overcome. I mean, really, I don't understand why judges are like that.
Well, it was,
that's not what they're there for.
Again, and by the way, I have to get to one because people are accusing me of you, Dago and Lee are not allowing one to talk. So we're going to let them to talk in a second. But because this is what we get all the time. Like if we get excited and passionate, then we're being disrespectful and not letting somebody else talk. We make an effort. We have meetings. We have meetings behind the scenes that talk about giving each other space to talk. Having said that, I'm going to talk a little bit more. Just like in the Idaho 4 case. Hippler not allowing them to bring in alternative suspects. You're not allowed to talk about the alternative suspects. You're not allowed to talk about, like, how are you not allowed to present the idea that somebody else did it? And the judge just say, you know what, we're not going to go there. You're not going to be able to talk about somebody else could have done it because we know who did it. So we're just not going to talk about it. Like,
and it's the judge's job, right? And it's the judge's job in every case. Sorry, one. After this, I'll shut up. It's the judge's job to ensure that the defendant gets a fair trial, that they get everything that they deserve as a defendant. In any case, that's the judge's job. And again, nope. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, one. You got to take this. You got to take the floor.
Yeah. So I see it. I saw a lot of people bringing up Shy Ray. So that goes along with the post-conviction relief, what Lee was talking about. So
yes,
that's one of the big things when. I mean, it was ruled on, but that's one of the main arguments that could be filed. Because an expert in the field was not allowed to testify, was not allowed to give his his findings. So
yeah, it was one of the things you raged about several times. One is you said that it's not appropriate for the judge to tell people that Cy Ray's a conspiracy theorist. That's not his fucking job to do that.
No.
And yet that's what he did. He's like, no, Cy Ray's not going to testify because he's a conspiracy theorist. Like, how the hell is a judge allowed to do that shit? Like, the expert on timing advance records, and he calls him a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. And like with her, with Gull, how can you? I don't understand how she was allowed to say, the FBI's proof about the Onism stuff was bullshit. That's not her job. It's not a judge trial. It's a jury trial.
Right.
Yeah.
So
right.
I don't understand. There has to be a better way to sometimes, in cases like especially these two, to override these judges who are just flat out. Well, all right. I'll use a different adjective.
I'll tell you another something real fast, you guys. I'm sorry. I had one person in my community that she's in my community, but she hasn't been around a while because her mother passed recently, who was friends with one of the jurors in the Delphi case. And she said that person, her friend, and many more, this is hearsay, so I can't prove it to you, okay, stated that they felt bad for the families in the Delphi case and said that they have waited for too long, and they believe that that's why they came to the decision they did, that they couldn't let this go any longer, that the jurors felt bad. And I'm thinking to myself, what? That's not, you can't do that, okay? You just can't do that. I get that thought. I get that feeling. But you can't do that, folks, because now, in my opinion, there's an innocent man sitting in prison for this because people felt bad for the families of the victims, and I get that.
It's like
along that lines, the fuckery that happened. Sorry, one I'm stepping all over you. Okay. Like, people are just going to crucify me if I don't let you down. Along that lines, one of the things they argued. So our Constitution says we have a right to a speedy trial. While that fuckery was going on with the judge dismissing Richard Allen's defense team, which he wanted to be defending him, and said, nope, they're not. We're going to start over with the new team. And now we're going to postpone the trial because you have to get the new team up to speed. And they argued. This is a problem because another amount of fuckery. Usually in that case, and this is what happened to Bryan Kohberger, you stay in a low-level jail while you're awaiting your trial. And then after you're convicted, if you are convicted, you get moved to a maximum penitentiary, just like Kohberger. Kohberger was in a jail and then moved to CUNA when he got convicted. But in an unprecedented type move, they moved Richard Allen from jail to a maximum security prison in solitary confinement very early on, and then made him languish there for 13 months in solitary confinement while his trial drug on and on and on, and it broke him. That's what the argument is. And they're like, that never should have happened. He's supposed to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. And not only did you keep him in jail, which is fine, we have reasons why to do that, but you kept him in like the worst conditions ever for 13 months. Yeah. And then he got broke, So
thank you so much, Calabella. Appreciate that very much. And yes, we need to fight for our rights and get innocent people out. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, thank you for supporting our channels and helping out with that. And it's just, and again, the similarities is what I wanted to kind of focus on. Those similarities between small town court systems where everybody knows each other. And, there was the allegations that Gull got rid of the attorneys that were representing him for somebody that she knew personally, and thought it would be friend to her cause. It just, the whole thing stinks, these small, tight-knit communities, and then justice seems to be not the important thing. It's about convictions. And the whole move of everything being kept in secret. I mean, in that case, from what I understand, they even tried to keep the probable cause affidavit out of the public, and that's like never a thing. Like, the public needs to see the probable cause. And on what basis did you make the arrest? Nope, we don't want to show it to you. We're going to keep that hidden. And they're like, you never hide the PCA. How are you hiding the PCA? Like, it's worse than Idaho.
She's insane. It was in that aspect. It was way worse.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I agree. Robin is right. It's just these judges have way too much power.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's obvious that there is something wrong, or to correct it. I mean, these people it takes forever. I mean, I think about the case from Framed about the about the custodian that he wound up sitting in prison for so long, and then I believe Montgomery. I think the families, like, they were allowed to get only a maximum of up to $500,000. Like, this guy's their whole life is ruined.
Yeah.
Ruined, and it's really sad.
Yeah, it's and our judicial system seems to have a massive amount of flaws. Just as a teaser, I'm going to try, if I have the energy tonight, to get a video in the bag for tomorrow on another case that I'm doing, which is the Mickey Steins case in Kentucky. Ben Fields is the deputy of Mickey Steins, or was the deputy of Mickey Steins. His trial's coming up in a civil case that involves sodomy. He got convicted of felony rape and sodomy of a prisoner in the judge's chambers. Spent a whole whopping 6 months behind bars, and then was released and has been out ever since. But now he's facing the civil case. While the civil case is ongoing, one of the people filing the lawsuit against him just mysteriously died. I've been fighting with the coroner to get the autopsy reports and why it died. That's a whole other thing. But anyways, in that case, going back to the judicial problem, I found out, this is what my topic's going to be about tomorrow, if I can get this in the bag, is that the defense team is trying to move to have the judge in that case recused from Ben Fields' trial. Why? Because apparently he's buddies with Kevin Mullins, the judge that was shot and killed in the judge's chambers, and there seems to be a conflict of interest with this guy presiding over a case in which another judge gets killed. And it's, again, small town community. All the judges know each other, the prosecutors know each other. It's a clique, it's a club. In that particular area, it may be that true. There's literally allegations of sex parties going on where law enforcement's involved in the sex parties and judges are involved in the sex parties. That case is nuts. That case is nuts.
Did you see how Ben Fields was housed in that minimal 6 months that he was there?
No.
They moved prisoners out of their cells and put them somewhere else so that Ben could be close to the specific areas, and he had access to the kitchen. He had cigarettes in his cell. He had all these special treatments given to him, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I mean, it was like he had he could move around freely within the area and stuff. They were saying, what a mess.
Sounds like El Chapo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a disaster. It's scary. It's scary because I'm trying to reach out to people to talk in that case, and and nobody wants to talk, I bet, because everybody's terrified, because literally the people who are on the street. These people are all out loose, and who knows who's. I mean, there was allegations in the Ben Field case of Mickey Steins and other cops going and threatening them, saying, "You will shut your fucking mouth, or bad things are going to happen." And so, if law enforcement's going to your house and threatening people, saying, "You better shut your mouth. We're a small town, and this is not the way we do things here around here," it's like redneck community. It's like if the officer does not remove the chewing tobacco from his lower lip before telling you to kiss my ass. Okay, you're in the redneck.
One of the victims was even stating that the FBI was involved in these parties and stuff as well, local FBI guys. So who do you go to for these things when you can't go any higher? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's nuts. And
I had to pull off a Jeff Foxworthy with that. If the officer does not remove the chewing tobacco from his lower lip.
It's so bad. It is so bad out there.
It is.
It's not just that area, guys. It's all the way around that area too.
Right. And to be fair, we're going to be putting boots on the ground in that area. And there's a part of me that's a little nervous about driving in a rural Kentucky back road community. If I get pulled over by an officer on a back road community, no offense, 1-1, but if I get pulled, there's going to be a part of me that's going to be like, call 911 and be like, "Can you please let people know that I'm being pulled over on this road at this time by this car? Because if I end up dead, I didn't fucking do it."
Yep.
Fly the drone real quick out your window and get rid of it.
100%. Yeah,
it's funny.
If you see a guy walk up to pull up behind you in a a full white suit with a white big brimmed hat on in a convertible Cadillac from 1974 with steer horns on the front, you better bolt, bro. That's all I'm saying.
It feels like it's going to be straight up Dukes of Hazzard time out there
100%
for
Hazard County. I'm telling you,
it is Hazzard. It literally is Hazzard County. That's the county seat out there is Hazzard County. Yeah,
it's crazy.
So I'm looking forward to the trip, though. I'm looking forward to getting some of the drone footage up in the air and all those good things. And it's been great. Like I'm looking forward to diving into the stuff that you guys have all been in there. I hope my hope is that I see things sometimes differently than other people see. So my hope is that when I go back and I'm late to the party on this case of Richard Allen, for example, that I'm going to see something different or new that somebody else didn't see before. And they're like, you know what? That's a good point. We thought, or maybe it's something that they had thought of before, but somebody with fresh eyes brings up again. And they're like, wait, but that was a bigger point than we thought. So hopefully I can add something to the conversation and not just talk about shit that everybody's already, we already knew all that, but we'll see. But that's my hope.
Well, you always do end up having different perspectives on stuff and thinking of things that, even, 3 years into a case that maybe, other people haven't. So I wouldn't be surprised that you're going to come up with something. I would not discount that at all.
I agree. Thank you, Christine Hurd, very much. And yes, we just want justice. Amen to that.
I was looking to see, keep talking for a minute. I'm going to see if I can find something real quick. I'm just going to pull myself off screen and let you guys take over for a minute, talk whatever the fuck you want. Take over my show for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So there's to let you guys know, there's a big Kurt Cobain documentary coming out.
Oh,
in like a few days.
I heard that. Yes,
it's the American Spy Fox or whatever the heck his name is.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's got I think he's had it in the works for a long time. He has a trailer.
He's been covering that for a long time.
Yeah,
it looks really interesting.
And he tries to get really good info too. So
I imagine he's going to, and it'll add to our Sunday thing for sure.
Yeah, I loved his interview with Cyril Weck. That was amazing. His interview with him. That was
he's
great.
Very good. I really do have a lot of respect for him.
Yep.
And that's something else you guys coming up this Sunday.
Not long ago.
For those of you that have been interested in that, guys, make sure you do tune in this Sunday because we have another great show coming.
Yeah, we're gonna get more deep into the actual crime scene and stuff surrounding the case.
We're gonna be diving into good stuff.
Yep. So if you're interested in the Kurt Cobain case, come on out Sunday night.
Yeah, it's funny that you guys have that whole case that's long ago in the past, but there's still all these shit that you guys are talking about and resurfacing. I knew it was kind of a cool case back then, but I didn't realize how much that you guys have been talking about that case. Every time you guys keep bringing up more stuff, holy shit, there's a lot of talking.
Yeah,
we haven't even scratched the surface with it yet.
Yeah,
we're on our third week now.
That's awesome.
The fuckery that's with that case is
it's real.
Non-stop.
And I want to. I don't even want to ask questions that are on my mind because you guys have been talking about it for so long. I'll be coming into it blind, so I'm just gonna let you guys deal with that on its own thing. I was queuing up. I was thinking about showing a little bit of the drone footage of kind of like previewing what our capabilities are, but then I was like, I'm not sure that that's all that exciting. Maybe we should just wait until we actually have a case to show the drone footage on. But I was just going to show it because it can, and a lot of you haven't seen it, and I think it would be kind of cool to say this is the kind of footage that we're going to be able to get when we get out there and boots on the ground. But we'll just wait until we just do it. I think we'll just wait until we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So. What else? Anything else? I mean, we talked a little bit about several different cases. Do you guys have anything in particular you want to dive into? We could spend more time on the Idaho 4 case if there's still lingering questions about the whole things there, or whether we want to drop that. I mean, what do you guys want to do?
I mean, the big thing with the Idaho 4 case, I just can't believe some of the people that weren't interviewed. We know. Obviously, BK was interviewed. We'll probably never get to see that, I guess.
No.
FBI or whatever. But but there's so many other people that I can't stress enough. I mean, maybe they didn't have the info at the time and it came out later on, but we have a firsthand witness now. It's not hearsay. It's a firsthand witness that was at the fraternity party that can say that Loach and Ethan had some kind of argument.
Right.
I'm not saying, I'll be clear, I'm not saying that Loach committed murder or anything, but to me, that would fall right along the line of, everyone, Jack D is the first, is suspect one, right? Because he had a relationship with Kaylee. Well, I would think that if you have we have the evidence that someone who dies a few hours later had some kind of argument or something or beef with someone at a party, I would think that would be a good place to start, at least with some questioning.
Right. And again, what I would like to see in the case is I would like to see how these people were ruled out as suspects, because those rumors were flying around that night, or did officers not ask enough questions and they didn't get to all the alternative? They didn't. I mean, Dago showed there's another fraternity guy that came forward. I think he, whatever he said his name was, he showed it a few days ago or a week ago. Mm-hmm. The guy that hit his name.
Oh, Dave. Dave.
Yeah, his name isn't Dave, but he said he's Dave. He said that
his name in his voice.
He said that they didn't come back to the fraternity. That there's a lot of people who were not interviewed. Like we're thinking that all these people were interviewed and whatnot. No, they weren't.
No, and there's so much, Lee. Like I was going through the photographs today, like slowly and breaking things down, so on and so forth. I'm gonna tell you what my big deal is now. Is the so-called latent footprint in front of Dylan's door now, right?
Yeah.
First off, the one photograph we showed, and you could see all of the amino black that was used in her doorway area and it going into her room and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I misunderstood that all completely when I was reading through the reports and stuff. That footprint that I thought was running, like walking towards her room, into her room, or out of her room, right?
Past her room, right?
Is parallel with her, the threshold in her doorway. Like, so it looks, when you look at it, it's almost like she stepped out of her room and was standing there straddling the threshold, looking into the living room, like watching something go down, maybe watching somebody be attacked there and that. So that's what I'm seeing now, and it's starting to make me go,
yeah,
something's wrong. Like you did way more than open your door a crack and see somebody and close the door. You couldn't see the doorway to the kitchen. Something's wrong.
And you know what they're going to do is they're going to shame us all for doing what we're doing, which is like, this is why we didn't want to show you the photos, because all you armchair detectives thinking you're going to solve this case, you're morons. You don't know how to read the scene and that you're getting it wrong. And then we'll have people come out and tell us that we're idiots that don't know how to interpret legal documents. And so therefore we're just a bunch of morons. And yet, let me remind you, we have attorneys on the show who say we're reading those legal documents just right. That we're not misunderstanding the legal documents, and we're not misunderstanding the fuckery. And those scenes do not make sense.
And then there's some other big info too that I would, I guess we could try to do a FOIA and request it. It has not come out in the documents. One of the things that came out, they make this big deal, and it is a big deal. Probably just about, I won't say everyone, but just about everyone, you have Wi-Fi turned on your phone. And when you are not connected to Wi-Fi, usually people don't click the thing to turn it off. They just leave it. So your phone is constantly trying to connect to Wi-Fi area. And it will create a log. So the document came out that said, I read it. It was like, the last batch of documents that they did try to get the info, and they're trying to get, see the BK's phone, try to connect to the Wi-Fi and all this stuff. That's great. And they should do that. But what about everyone else? What about Ethan? What about Xana? What about Kaylee? What about Maddie? They're on the Wi-Fi. There's going to be a log. There's a log on the router that shows when they were there. Now, that doesn't show where they are in the house. But if we see a log, if we see a log that shows, now that does, again, it's a phone. It's not exactly, that's not proof of life, but it still will show okay, Xana and Ethan, their phone was at such and such, they were in front of the house. They were at the side of, they were in proximity of the Wi-Fi. Yeah. And again, and along with that, same thing, whether they were wearing it or not. I mean, I guess we could try to look through the pictures or photos. They all seem to have Apple. Who was wearing an Apple Watch? Give us the info.
I saw Birdie dropped in. He gives me a smile whenever Birdie drops in, and he dropped some money on the show. Thank you so much, Birdie. I'm going to give you a link if you want to jump backstage and join us for a little bit here as well. Somebody did say, by the way, not to derail us, but somebody did say it would be kind of cool to see some of the drone footage capability. I'm not going to show a lot of it, but I think I will, since somebody in here said they wanted to see it. And I've been dying to show you how amazing quality the camera footage is. And it is. Plus, I want to make you a little jealous about where I live. Like, it's kind of nice here. It's kind of nice. So I'm going to show you just a little bit. And if Birdie wants to join us on stage, he just wants
to ensure that everybody knows that his drone's bigger than mine. That's all.
Right. Yeah. I thought I'd show everyone. I'd put it on. In fact, if we could put your drone up next to mine on screen, just so we can have the comparison, that'd be great. But,
there's my drone.
All right, hold on. Let me play a little piece of this. I'll kind of skip through some of it, but I want you to see the quality of some of this video footage. I think you should be able to hear it with sound. Do you hear sound?
Yeah, we hear it.
Yeah.
This is great. I feel like I'm in Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Right?
That's what I thought. Look at that.
That's AI.
No, that is straight up in our backyard,
That's
sir.
fake.
That's the real deal.
He photoshopped that barn in, folks.
Is that real footage?
That's real footage. That's right near our house. Yeah, and that's us. That's my wife and I out there with our suspect vehicle number 1.
White Elantra, yes.
What are you using, dear?
It's an Atom 2 Protensic drone, little drone.
Wow.
Not the size of your drone, Birdie. It's really how you use it. Hold on a second. Let me skip forward a little bit. Show you a little bit more.
That's your implant, bro.
How's this?
Oh my God.
That's remarkable.
That is Lake Wallowa in Oregon. It's a hop, skip, and a jump away from our house. It's amazing.
DA.
Yes, we do have wolves there. Yeah, what?
We got to come out and stay by you guys for a weekend or something.
Right? Turn the music
For
down a
real.
little bit.
That's gorgeous.
I'll skip forward a little bit and get you to
Look at the reflection of the mountains in the lake.
That's literally glass. That's like a postcard.
Right.
Yeah, I almost put my drone in that lake. That was my
we got,
I almost drunk.
Michael BS is trying to come back on stage.
DA, you should mute it.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let's mute it.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
You don't need the music to prove how gorgeous it is, bro.
Yeah. So look at, these are the capabilities the drone can do. So I'm excited to fly. Imagine this. Imagine flying this over Monon High Bridge in Delphi. Imagine flying this right down into the scene of a crime scene from an aerial footage, from the neighborhood, from the aerial footage, all of which is capable. So we're excited to be able to premiere some of this stuff as we get into the cases. But yeah, that's there's my wife and I out there on the beach making you nauseous as I'm flying. I'm trying to learn how to fly. This was an early test flight, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
And you chose to fly it over water.
Right.
I did. And the worst part about it is I got way out there in the lake and I'm new to it, right? So I get this notice, warning, battery low. And I'm like, oh fuck, right? And so then I realized I lost my drone. It's on a blue sky, and I got a kind of a blue drone. I can't see it, and so I'm trying to look at the camera like, where the fuck is the shore? And it's like battery low, and then it's like critical battery low, landing, and I'm like, no, you're not landing in the fucking lake. And I'm like,
does it start to come back to dock?
You can set settings. Oddly enough, I probably should have read the user manual a little bit more. I think you can set settings that say, but here's the thing. You can make a lot of mistakes with drones. Like, for example, if you go out one direction and you're coming against the wind on the back, it doesn't know that the battery, the fans have to work harder coming back against the wind, and it may not know, and it may just die. And for safety, it'll land when it needs to land to get out of the air so it doesn't fall on somebody. And if that happens to be over water, you're done. So maybe I shouldn't have flew it over water, but
is it like an Xbox controller or is it off your phone?
It's off the phone. It's a very cool. It's really cool. It's like a expandable like joystick that you expand and put your phone in the middle of it and turn it sideways. So you got your phone acts as a big camera. And I got a big fat phone. Don't worry, Dago. Don't get jealous. I got a big fat phone, and so it does really good image, and then you use that as your controller.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that was stunning imagery though. That was really cool.
It's good to see him, man.
I can't wait to see that once boots on the ground happens. That's going to be just incredible.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be great. I mean, could you imagine, DA? They would have probably shot that thing out of the sky if it was near King Road or Luigi or any crime scene. They would have said, nope, you're not getting that. And have you seen, like at festivals, I've seen this a lot in like China or Japan, like those like electric forest type festivals. Have you seen where the cops have those like giant guns that they just shoot like a I don't know, one you might know more with
like a beanbag?
It just like it takes the connection off of who's ever controlling the drone, and the drone just drops.
No.
Is that like it's like an EMP gun or something? I don't know.
It is. We're actually not even allowed to use that. It's like FBI and what they do here, they actually do use it here. They're really strict with drone laws around New York City. Like you can't really fly almost anywhere, but where that comes into play a lot is during like July 4th, like the fireworks and stuff. So what they do is the Coast Guard, they have that technology and they use it. They knock
and it just shuts down the connection from whatever.
Yep.
What if there was a see, now I'm going all crazy. I was just gonna say that because can you take it over and fly it, or what if it just drops and there's like a bomb on it? Like I've watched too many Ukraine drone footage videos on X.
That's pretty wild, dude, to think of.
And I'm learning a lot about drones. As an example, by the way, so there's a setting on my drone. You can choose what behavior it is when you tell it to land, and like one of them is like, well, like if it goes out of range of your controller and it can't find and it loses connection, it'll automatically return to home, right? But what it does is it first rises up like 20 or 30 feet or whatever you set it at to get above any obstructions that it possibly can, and then it starts coming back home. Well, I didn't know about the rising up part, so like I was over the lake. This is again, I'm over the lake, right? Low battery, and I'm like, fucking return home, and all of a sudden the fucking drone goes up in the air, and I'm like, where the hell are you going? Like, no, you need to come home. I didn't know it was gonna. But where it got me in trouble is I just took a pilot's license, right, for the drone to be commercially licensed, and you're not allowed to fly in the clouds. You have to be 500 foot below cloud layer. So what happened was, and by the way, I could show it, but I don't. Anyways, maybe I will. Anyways, so there was a foggy day out, and fog technically is clouds that are down on the ground. You can't fly into fog. It's against the law that your pilot
license. The FAA?
Yeah, like FAA. Well, I'm not allowed with my pilot's license to fly into the clouds, which includes clouds hanging on the ground as fog. But as long as I'm like 2,000 feet away from the fog, I can do it. Well, where I got myself in trouble, and maybe I'll get to show it while we're talking, is I did a return to home when I lost my drone. Because again, I lost my drone, which is kind of grayish blue, against a fog bank, and I couldn't see shit. I wasn't in the fog bank, but I kind of lost it. So I say return home. That some bitch rose up into the clouds, and I'm like, oh fuck! The FAA is gonna fucking take my license because it just went straight up into the clouds, and I'm like, shit! It's really kind of cool footage, but I'm okay because the FAA says when you're trying to avoid, like, you can have a momentary lapse. The intention was not to fly into the cloud; it just happened by accident when I did return to home, and it shot up in the air into a cloud, and I was like, fuck! So yeah.
You know what, Bertie? I'm pretty sure I was just thinking about something because I read an article locally around here. I'm pretty sure they use those pulse guns at like Cleveland Brown Stadium.
Yeah.
They fly around the stadiums. You're not allowed to do that. They will use those guns to shut those things down like right away.
Yeah. At Summerfest in Milwaukee, I've seen people, or like even the Harley Davidson Fest. There's a lot of people that want to get dope drone shots of everybody riding their bikes. And it's probably what Lee was just saying. I'm sure, like, which is interesting though. Problem. Yeah. Like the FAA, I don't know, because it's terrible to have to go to that mindset. And that's probably like one of the things, one I respect about you and just officers in general. You have to think, what psycho could take advantage of like just goodwill of people.
Right. Well, I was gonna tell you that it's a big problem that I know over here. I'm sure throughout the country, anything that you go to that has a large stadium, a large amount of people, like giant stadium, they have a whole unit that just their job is to watch for drones.
Yep.
And there isn't a lot that you can do with it, because like like what you just said, if you have one of those, if you're allowed to use one of those special tools or whatever to knock it down, well, if you were going to use it for bad purposes, and you want to your object was to try to hurt people or whatnot, there's really not much they can do, because
it's so crazy.
Think about it. Like if you put a drone up over a stadium, does a certain and they want to do something bad, do they care about getting the drone back? No, they don't care.
And look, for those people are gonna be like, what the fuck? I thought we were a true crime channel. So I had to learn in my pilot's test.
I'll be right back.
There's different categories of drones, right? And it based on poundage, right? So when you get to a 55-pound drone and you put it over top of a stadium and people, you've got a problem if that thing drops out of the sky onto somebody's head, kind of thing. So there's different rules on what you can fly over stadiums and shit, and also with that. I'm going to show you some of that fog footage while he's gone. Just to so here, I wanted to get a shot coming across these ice frosted hills, and there's this American flag. I thought I'd fly up on the American flag is what my plan was. And out in the distance is fog that's hanging on the low level mountains out there. So this was the shot that I was trying to get. At some point, I lose my gray blue drone on the gray blue fucking canopy of everything out there, right? Because it all looks the same. So I end up kind of, I'm going to skip forward a little bit so for the sake of brevity. So I'm over some houses and stuff and I get lost, right? I'm like, where the fuck am I? Like I couldn't find my drone. I was way the hell out there. Oh yeah. What was cool is I did get to orient myself for these orange houses. I saw these orange houses. I'm like, oh, I can see where that's down below the orange house. But anyways, this was the moment where I could have got myself in trouble. There was no intention to fly into a cloud layer. I just simply panicked when I couldn't find my drone anymore. So here's about where it's at. I'm hovering and I'm like, where the hell is the drone? And I basically can't find it. So I eventually tell it to go home. And then I should rise here in a second. Here we go.
DA, have now you it's ever trying to go.
Those, go ahead. What? No, go ahead.
It was completely unrelated. I was just thinking about, like, have you ever seen those people that fly drones like into like the heart of the city? And then you have people that might be like tweaking out, throwing rocks and shit at drones.
People hate drones. They shoot at drones.
Yeah. They're scary. Like that buzzing noise. I don't know what your guys' X or Twitter algorithm is. Dude, mine's like effed up. I see too many drone Ukrainian-Russian war strikes. It's like,
well, see, watch this. So here I'm getting foggy. My drone is now up in a cloud, and I'm like, "Fuck! I'm gonna get arrested," because like I'm not supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be that fucking high. I think it goes a lot more than
that's up there, bro. Jesus. What's the limit it can get up to? What is the max altitude?
Well, the legal limit is 400 feet above ground level, and so most drones are kind of set to cap out at 400 feet above ground level if it knows where the ground level is. But you can get problems with that because you can technically go higher, like legally I'm allowed to fly over a tower. So if the tower is 800 foot, I can be 400 foot above the 800 top tower. So I can go way the fuck up there as long as I can still see the drone. So anyways, that's enough footage for today, but I just thought it was kind of cool.
Is that like a boating, like a boater safety or a hunter safety type style license? You just do it online?
Oh, no. It's well, yes. The Part 107 license is for commercial drone pilots. And so you schedule it with the FAA and you go find a testing center near you. And there's testing centers all over the place. It's a 2-hour test. It's $179 to take the test. And it's like 20 hours of study time. And you have to pass a bunch of questions about, and here's the thing that pisses me off, Bertie. Like, I had to learn how to read aeronautical charts. I had to learn what class B, D, C, D, E airspace is, where they are, at what foot elevation. Even when they're at elevations, my drone is not even allowed to fly. Like, I can't fly that high. Why do I fucking need to know about class
I think it's
B
cool,
airspace?
though. I think it's cool. You can say you did it.
But the weirdest part about it was is that when I got done and I'm like, okay, now I got to see if I can fly where I live and what the conditions are. And I'm getting ready to get out aeronautical charts and look up my area and look at the weather map to see what the cloud layer level is. And I'm like, there's an app for $2. You push in a button and say, here's where I'm at. And they go, yeah, you can fly. And here's the airspace is above you. Here's where you're at. This is your elevation. And the clouds are great. You can go for it. And it just tells you. It's like, why the fuck did I take a 2-hour test when you could just tell me with a push of the button, is it okay to fly here or not?
I was going to ask you one. Do you know, like, remember, was it last year or year before? I can't remember now. When all those drones were flying around Jersey and shit, they were constantly like day after day. You know, like what was going on with all that? Do you know anything about that? What they were doing to get rid of that and help deal with that?
No.
China. Yeah. I know you.
That was mostly in the East Coast in Jersey, right? Yeah, there was
we had a bunch here in Ohio.
Were they ours? One? Were they ours?
I don't know. I really don't know.
We had an issue with them being
that's exactly what I would say.
It's exactly what NYPD would say. I don't know what they are.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Neither confirm or deny.
Yeah, we had a bunch near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base here in Ohio, and I'm like, come on now. Like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Because that's the other Area 51, supposedly. So,
well, speaking of that, not to sidetrack, I have no idea what you guys were talking about, but I watched this I watched this super interesting podcast on the Sean Ryan podcast. I don't know if you guys know. You kind of look like him a little bit, Dago, in a way.
I've told that before, yeah.
Okay. But he talked about, like, you know how they say the disclosure, where they're going to tell everybody what it is. And this guy had a really interesting take, and he said, I do wonder if the disclosure into telling us about like aliens or non-worldly things is really because it is this world and it's just they don't want to tell you. Like, is that why they're not disclosing it? It's not necessarily that it's like out of Earth's realm. It's that it's a part of Earth and they don't know how to explain this technology has existed for as long as it has.
Yes, I've watched that. Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's
very interesting episode.
Yes.
It's funny that you mentioned it. I got really heavy into the drones, the Jersey drones on the East Coast. And it was before I got my pilot's license. And the FAA knows what's in the airspace. When you get to the size, those drones were the size of like small cars. They were some big drones in this. Right. They were big. And so really I looked it up and we found out the model of the drones. There was a company that made 2 versions of the drones that you were seeing up there in the air. So I did a lot of research on it, and it got to the level where the Pentagon made a release about whether or not we were safe, whether the East Coast was safe, and whether the drones were ours.
Really?
Or not. And I saw it it was on CNN. It was all over the thing, and it got to be a big deal. And they were, and basically it was funny because for a while they were telling like, we don't know who it is, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, do you can't. How do you tell people that you don't know what's in your airspace?
They knew.
If it's one of ours, they're going to know what it is because it has to be registered. And if it's not one of ours, then you've got a problem if somebody can fly drones off your coast, So anyways, the whole thing was a shit show. I got into it more than you think. And I talked about it on TikTok before I came over to YouTube, and I never brought that shit over to YouTube.
I was covering it too for a while because it, like I said, it was fine when it was in Jersey and over in New York and stuff like that. And then New York, yeah. Then it started showing up here and I'm like, I'm getting a little nervous now. Like we were seeing them around my area too, and they were SRB. My one mod, they were like right by her house. Tons of them. I'm like, what the hell's going on, you guys? I was getting a little freaked out. So,
I will tell you. Sorry, Bertie. Hold on. I'll be quick. I do want to say I ultimately believe those drones were our own government testing something about.
I agree.
And they just didn't want to admit it. They didn't want to tell people, so they kind of did the whole "we don't know what it is" kind of thing. But you're safe because they know they're safe because they were doing testing. Like it was related to an Air Force base. It was all over an Air Force base. I think they were doing some testing and they just didn't want to admit what exactly it was.
Yep, I agree.
I think it was Amazon. Because Amazon is going to be getting their drones out there now, apparently. Maybe Amazon was testing their drones to see how well they can deliver those groceries.
Yeah. Wait,
we've had
Robin.
them here. We've had the Amazon drones. I've seen 2 of them now out here delivering shit. It's weird.
Wait, Robin, you're saying that a billionaire like Jeff Bezos that has nothing to chase for money would just probably manipulate the public to believe something that's not true?
No.
No.
Come on.
Right?
But so
I know, silly me.
So my wife's family is from Virginia, And this was we went out there for Christmas 2 years ago. And when we landed, my mother-in-law's husband, he's like, dude, I got a picture of a drone that's over our house. And I go, are you serious? Like, I want to see this. And so he shows me this picture on his phone. He's like, you got to zoom in. And it's like that big ass black dude leaning on the end of the bed on the drone.
Nice.
Everybody probably knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And that was like within 30 seconds.
You got to really lean in and look good.
Yeah.
You gotta look real close to it. Yeah.
We were like in the airport, and I'm like, damn, dude, you're gonna end up on a list for that. Like
That's awesome. I love it.
Oh,
That's
people
my
are probably
type of
wondering
humor.
what the hell just happened. We've become a complete like random shit about drones.
There
and
is nothing wrong
conspiracies.
with talking off key a little bit every now and
You
then.
know-
It kills the
No.
monotony.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Lee, I did a call-in show tonight, and I had Esty call in.
Oh yeah, how'd it go?
It went good. He brought up some good point. Like, okay, so not to hijack this back to Idaho 4, but I'm assuming
No,
you
it's
guys
okay.
have seen the photos that have been released.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The biggest takeaway that I have is clearly this is it's not quiet, and where it started, it didn't finish. You know what I'm saying? Like
Correct.
this.
Correct. Yeah. We agree.
Very noisy. Very
I
noisy.
don't know if you guys have
Yep.
talked about it, but
Yeah,
We have.
did.
Yeah.
So okay, we're on the same page with that. But Esty did say he referenced this code. It's pretty much like the staging a violent event type thing. We've all talked about it, and not that I'm going off of necessarily his call saying that I'm agreeing with it, but
Yeah.
if you were gonna do that, it would have to be believable.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part. And I think like I want to talk about in general, not necessarily the Idaho 4 and any WITSEC stuff or whatever. I just want to talk about like we were talking about drones, we were talking about capabilities of the government shooting them down. How interesting is it that we really don't know what our ruling class has the ability to do? Isn't that a weird like realm that we're in right now?
Yeah.
We it's not even just information, it's technology. It's
Technology too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
on another
Right.
level, and especially with the AI stuff.
Yeah,
how do we figure it
Yeah.
out?
They show us just so much, just
Right.
enough to keep us satisfied, I think, when they're probably eons beyond that, in my opinion, and we don't know. That's kind of a scary thing. I agree with you on that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look at some of the stuff. I mean, I know it's some of the super like wealthy people, or I mean, it's been out for a while, but now they're trying to clone like. This is the start. They're cloning like dodo. Like I know it's not a 1-to-1, but it's close enough. Like they're cloning dodo birds. I heard they
Yeah.
want to. They're trying to
Dinosaurs,
clone.
yeah.
Dire wolves.
I think
yeah,
they've
dire
already
wolves. I mean, we're gonna have a real life Jurassic Park.
I think they've
Yes,
already
I do.
accomplished.
I think we're
human-
gonna have a Jurassic Park.
Yeah, right. They what was the human baby that they kind of had a big stink over because they had cloned and weren't supposed to, and yeah,
I would
yeah,
argue
that's
they
yeah.
do that with our meat. They do that with our food, bro. They
Soylent
can,
Green. You have to be
Yeah.
really old if I can.
That's
get
why
that.
everybody has ADHD now, Bertie.
well, I'm a byproduct of it. So
Hey, same here.
it's a blessing and a curse. It's the best thing or it's the worst thing.
Yes.
And
But it's true. But I think it's true. Like, you know, a lot of people say anything that we have out in the private sector, the military's had for quite some time, and that's a lot of times I think that's true. I mean, even the entire internet. I know that some of you guys were
internet
born
theory.
after the internet, but the internet was a military thing that existed first, and they kind of so they had it long before we did, and now all of a sudden everybody has the internet, but they had it long before we had.
Well,
You know, everything they've had a lot longer than we've had, kind of thing. So
this is why I love you, Lee.
if you think about it, like, okay, that thing Bertie brought up earlier, where they started showing the Senate hearings on the UFOs or UF. What do they call them now? UFAs.
It's like it's like the
UAPs.
UAP.
Okay.
Oh God, don't get me started.
Oh, so they did that whole Senate thing where they're this is what's going on, guys. We really do have this, we have that, so on and so forth. Do you think they're really going to show us everything, or they're going to show us what they want us to see how we react to it, so therefore they can see how we're going to react if something were really to be shown. If that's, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely. And I think the fact that you're asking the question tells us the answer. Because if we can ask that question, right? It's too obvious. How many times in human history have we had no idea, right? And I think AI, to the kind of similar to the UAPs, I believe that AI is getting worse purposefully, because you think about Hollywood and CGI, and you look at all these videos that people like they pay for AI, and then you go to ChatGPT and you say, create an image of this, and they're like, I can't do it, or it creates the shittiest version ever of it.
Right.
And it's like, okay,
they're way better than that. Yeah.
Are they only allowing it to be crappy publicly so that when we see something that looks really legit, we don't think it's AI?
We don't think that's possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, dude, the fact that we're able to like have this conversation, they've lost, if that's their goal.
We're waking up.
The funny thing is,
that's the problem. We're waking up. They don't.
The funny thing is, I'm not even really here. I've been in AI the entire time. Like, you're not even really talking to me. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you guys don't realize how good it's gotten.
Matrix. We're in the Matrix.
I wondered why your eye looked like sideways a little bit there. I got
I got like 5 fingers. Like, well,
and he had 6 fingers.
Yeah, there we go. Gotcha.
DA's AI enhanced, and
right now my monitor keeps going black on me, so I can't see shit because the FBI is apparently like shut that guy's.
That's why one can't take his sunglasses off, because there's no eyeballs behind it.
Right? Right? Yeah. It's they live. He's got the sunglasses on. You can see.
Dago, you can't say that to a person like me, because now I'm gonna dig on one here.
Take your glasses off.
One's gonna be in a patrol
Artie's gonna
car.
call me later, like, were you serious, bro? No.
One's gonna be doing a patrol.
2 bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Wow, we just got off the rails. We got off the rails.
I love it. I think it's refreshing, dude.
Hey, after the last 2 days,
good decompression.
You got to be able to dispel some of that.
Amen.
I was gonna ask you, since you said you had Estes on your show,
he called.
Does he still did he indicate that he still thinks no one died in the house and it's all a complete cover up and it's just the whole thing is staged? And to further that question, so I want to actually ask that: do you think he's still saying nobody died that night? And did you happen to see the one photo in there where they actually leaked a body, that where you think you actually see the body? Yeah. No,
I've seen the body. I don't. Okay, full transparency, and you guys can go listen to it. He didn't allude to nobody dying. I think that the way that I interpreted it is just people need to know that it's a real thing, and ultimately, we saw a body at this point, right?
Right.
We did. I mean,
yeah.
But for victim. Let's just say that one person went into WITSEC. It's still better than 4 dead. Like, I do think in general, people need to understand that WITSEC is a real thing. Nobody's going to know. If you're over 18, your family doesn't know, all that stuff. I just think that people need to wrap their head around it.
Yes. And, are you holding a breast implant, sir?
I am. And I need to, it's become this weird comfort. And I don't know
I get
why.
it. I get it. Like, it's very comforting.
Wait, is it real or is it AI?
No, this is real. This is
okay. Just making sure.
It's a double D.
Wait, you need to send me a couple of those ASAP. Wait a minute. I'm covered. Never mind. I'm good.
You wear them, DA.
Our neighbor up north, he's a plastic surgeon, and we play cornhole with these, and they float in the water, oddly enough. And it's interesting because he'll have like certain different sizes, so there's an advantage depending on which implants you get for your cornhole bags. You have to be strategic. I'm not really sure where to go from that point, but just know, DA, they float, and I can send you some.
So I'm really fighting. I'm fighting not going with a million questions I have right now that are not appropriate for true crime. I'm
Have you gotten past the ability to hold it against your face, Birdie?
Yeah.
Oh, Bernie's he's telling the truth, because when I'm a certified scuba diver, and when I went through going through that course, that actually comes up. So women actually float a lot better
Oh, really?
They can find their natural buoyancy level. Everyone has a natural buoyancy level in the water. So like you're not swimming, you just kind of completely buoyant, and women have an easier time floating.
So it's a life-saving device as well.
True.
It is.
I just had to prove that people do read the chat. We do read the chat. Actually. We do.
Oh man, I love you guys.
We're not the best at addressing the chat. Bertie's way better at addressing his chat. I don't address the chat as much as I should, but I do see it. I do watch it. So I'm sorry. I realize that we're kind of all over the place, but
we're what?
We're all over the place tonight.
Oh.
We're all over the place.
So
forget about it.
Yeah. What were you gonna ask me about these bad boys, huh?
Oh, I was gonna make a joke like, oh my God, like, so you said a plastic surgeon, right? Like in real life, this is gonna be inappropriate. In real life, women are not exactly symmetrical. Like it's not uncommon for one side to be a little bigger than the other. So does a plastic surgeon make them 100% symmetrical so that they get both exactly the same, or do they still keep that realistic? Like, why did I fucking go there? This is not a true crime question. You made me ask a question, but I'm just, as a plastic surgeon.
They have to. I can answer that. They have to, because have you ever tried to buy a bra for uneven boobs?
I have not. I only wear them when people aren't looking and I'm off camera.
Made them totally uneven. Sorry, you better refund my money, buddy.
Wow. Okay. Live from New York.
Yeah. You asked the plastic surgeon, Fran, has a woman ever asked to be purposely a little off symmetrical, or
do you guys want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Let's call them.
All right.
You
can call them up. You know what? We got a lot of questions. I got bonus questions today.
Yes.
How much do you make a year before taxes?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but dude, side note, plastic surgery too. Going to I'm not trying to just completely course correct here. There's this rapper that I've listened to back in the day when I was like playing college football, Kevin Gates. He talks a lot about how in one of his songs he references he's got a private doctor, $2 million if he goes on the run, he'll do facial reconstruction surgery. Okay, and I think about that. I'm like, how good is AI facial recognition if you get your nose done or you get your jaw trimmed? Trimmed. And people do this. And that's to that point. It's like, if you're wealthy enough that you can do this and you grow out your beard or you grow your hair out or you lose weight, you gain weight, whatever it is, right? Like, are you able to be not just unrecognizable to the human eye, but what AI would read? I wonder if it would change it enough.
Good question.
That's a good question.
I believe it's probably good.
I mean,
to make some kind of fucking half-assed attempt to bring this back to true crime. I've said this. I've said this about AI.
With this shit, dude.
Right. This is a true crime channel. God damn it. So listen,
damn it.
I've asked the question before. We're getting so good at the AI. When's the first time a criminal is going to be able to go into court and be presented with video evidence of here's you committing the crime and go, well, that's not me. That's AI. My 15-year-old could make it look like I just did that crime. I wasn't there. Like, how are we going to argue that in court now?
We're already there. Look what they did with Tyler Robinson. Do you remember when? Okay, I remember flipping out when they first showed Charlie Kirk's situation. They showed the two photographs of Robinson side by side. One was him, one was not him, and I'm like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
It's already there at that point. I'm sorry, but
right, because the public doesn't. I'm not attacking the public, but there's too many people that they don't know they think that stuff is just about DNA and stuff like that. They don't realize one of the ways that you can, that we do. Actually, what we're trained in law enforcement. Obviously, someone gives you, we get their ID, and one of the ways you can try to see if someone is who they say they are, you can check their ear. No, there are no two people that have the same ears.
Yep.
Okay. Even identical twins, they do not have the same ears. But a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
I do because I've had you on the show
Yes.
enough that I've learned
Yes.
the ear thing. I was going to ask you during the plastic surgery, you'd have to get your ears done too.
Can I give you guys a theory on that? And Dago, to
Yeah.
your point. Okay, so you had said how, or to Lee's original point, saying, how are we going to know if this is AI, if it's you're fabricating me committing a crime when I'm not? Dago brought up, Tyler Robinson.
Mhm.
Do you know how, like, in big pharma, they have a medicine that they'll patent, and then they sometimes buy a company that could have ruined that medication just to shelf it? I believe that they're doing that with AI for showing it's AI. Like, I believe that because how is there not a company that's out there that's able to through and through prove this is AI generated? Like, you might see Grok, you might see the current companies that produce AI tell you, but there's no like third party, completely unrelated and regulated to monitoring AIs on what is AI generated. And I find that very odd. Like, there's some, but I do wonder if these companies are getting gobbled up, similar to big pharma or big medicine, and then they're shelved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because some people in the chat are saying, "Can we get back to true crime, please?" And yes, I do read the chat. But along that line,
do read the chat.
I do read the chat. I learned a long time ago that, like with electric cars and gasoline, right? There would be companies that are involved in the production of oil and gas who would pay for funding for colleges to try to invent a car that runs on corn or whatever. And they did it because then they own the copyright and can keep it from ever being published. So they fund the research to prove that it can be done without gas. And then they go, well, we own that. We actually paid for the right for that to be researched. And so we're just going to not let that. We own the copyright on it. It won't come out. It's just diabolical.
It is diabolical.
Going back to that, like the true crime version of something like what you guys just said, there was a story that I covered a while back. It was we were bored, so we did something extra about this guy that he figured out a way to run a car off of, was it water or something? It wasn't water. It was something like oil or like vegetable oil or something like that. And I can't remember when we covered it, but we covered like two versions of it. One, the first story when it first came out and so on and so forth, and the second one, then the guy disappeared.
Oh, of course. Mysterious heart attack, car accident, suicide.
He just disappeared, and I was like,
happens way too often.
I can take it back to the true.
Yeah. Well, look at Nikolai Tesla. I mean, he was gonna have
time travel.
I mean, he had a million things, but the big thing he was making something that was gonna probably make electricity kind of like free for everyone.
Oops. I meant to keep that pinned because somebody, and look, if you can find that comment again from Queen of Denial, we'll pin it again. But I do so with a tinge of reservation because you're ultimately getting to the question that nobody died again. Did we just fake the whole thing? But do you guys want? You guys have at this question. You guys have at that question.
That's a great question, Queen of Denial.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put on the tinfoil hat here, but let's also understand it's possible, right? I mean, Kris Jenner's on her third head, for God's sakes, right? I mean, like, jokes aside, you can do it, and it's a good front. Like, these people that would actually be in charge of it, they might come off as stupid in the media, but behind the scenes, I'm telling, and one, you can probably talk to this. I'm sure some of the most brilliant minds have ran sophisticated operations where it's like, unless you see the paperwork and the plan, you're never going to figure it out.
Right. That's true.
And DA, we're talking about getting back to true crime. Do you mind? So the WSU lawsuit, another prominent thing that people have talked about. They're suing WSU for saying they should have known Bryan Kohberger. Dang. No way you had that ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wait a minute, I gotta put that full screen. I
have 35 hats sitting next to me, bro.
All right, very nice.
That's
very
amazing. So the WSU lawsuit, I was kind of going on a rant, and DA, you and I actually met and connected via this funding that Bryan Kohberger went out there in the middle of.
Yeah.
It's lone wolf actors predicting their criminal behavior, yada, yada, yada. And now after the fact of the Idaho 4 happening, WSU is getting sued for $500 million damn near for not predicting that Bryan would do this. Well, there are a lot of things, and I know you're familiar with the Custody Queens and Ron Funk.
Yeah.
They were essentially what Ron Funk said. When I went back and I listened to it, I realized one thing, and I said, what they're getting at in the lawsuit is that no human would be able to predict another human would do this. And it's interesting that there's a predictive criminal behavior aspect. And if it's not humans that can predict it, well, you need AI predictive modeling to do this. And I'm calling it that there will be a time in the next 2 to 3 years where WSU is going to flip the script, where they're now looking like the bad guy because they're getting sued for Bryan Kohberger. They're going to go on the forefront and they're going to say, we learned from our mistake. Every employer needs to take your DNA, spit into this tube for us, give us your fingerprints. They'll scrape your search history. They'll scrape your Instagram, your Facebook. And if you have a geofence thing and you cross 82nd Street, well, there's a marker because you have 2 people in your family that did drugs. If you cross 82nd Street, you're going to do it. I mean, but because nobody wants to be the next WSU. And then here's the kicker. There's going to be a third party that says we are so confident in our predictive model that we will pay your lawsuit out if we don't predict it. We will give you an insurance policy. We'll either guarantee a conviction or we will pay the lawsuit. And that's going to do nothing but enable early intervention into everything I just said.
That's an interesting theory, to be honest with you. It really is.
It's the direction it's going.
Yeah,
LinkedIn
it's
is
totally
already
the-
able to do some of that.
Right. I mean, it's
They
you're right
probably
about
are,
it. It's
yeah.
happening.
I agree.
Oops. I was trying to be quick, and I'm fucking not quick. I'll tell you that much. What I was going to show you is for the young folk out there who don't know what the hell this is. Here's that educational show right there.
Yeah, Minority Report.
The Minority Report. I was going to put it up full screen, but yeah. And apparently I suck, right? It's Minority Report. It's that right there.
I mean, what do you guys think about that though? From like a long-term play, you got to remember these institutions, they play the long game. They don't care.
Yeah, right.
Whatever's going to bring the money in. I'm pretty sure. I just said this. We watched that movie like 3-4 months ago. I told my wife, I said, we're there now as far as I'm concerned. They won't show it to us, but we're there.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you have apps that are running your geofence location 24/7 that you probably don't know about? Unless you consciously, like I go into Jimmy John's and I know if they got a special on cookies because I walk into their store.
Right. Which I think that was in Minority Report too. He walks into a store and all the ads are targeted to you. Maybe I'm thinking of Total Recall, where you walk into a store and every ad's like, John, have you seen the latest cell phones right now? You need a cell phone.
Same thing.
Well, what happens, dude? What happens when your DNA, like, I'll take it a step less. You know how everybody now has, like, I have a Whoop that I wear, and you know, like how a lot of people wear those Aura rings.
Yeah.
Okay, those are Bluetooth synced. Are we naive enough to think that Aura wouldn't sell that data to Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anybody that runs ads? And it's like, now we can biometrically hack people. Their heart rate rose when they saw this. They're like, and then what happens when you bring, your actual blood DNA into it, dude?
No, you're right.
Bro.
Yeah.
Right. You're right. I mean, you just bring up a scary thought. You're right. When your smart technology can literally transmit data about when your heart becomes elevated or whatever. Right. And if they take that as a sign of you're about to commit a crime because you're getting nervous, you're walking into the liquor store, but your heart rate is racing and you've got a criminal history, you must be about to commit a crime. In Minority Report, you've been 95% likely to commit a crime, or you're being arrested for the future crime of committing a armed robbery.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think we're that far away from that if we're not already there.
Tell me what's not in place to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the technology was there if they want to use it. Yeah.
Which and that's like the hardest part. I don't want to take this conversation over. I just want to say this last point quick. It's we're never able as humans to wrap our heads around. We think of stuff technologically advancing for good.
Yeah.
Nobody in power ever uses it for good. Drones.
Yeah.
Let's go bomb people. AI. Let's hack them so we can control them. Whatever. There's always nefarious intent behind the best technology.
Yeah. Well, even wasn't it even Elon Musk warned that AI is going to destroy us all if we don't put guardrails on it, because that's where the model is going. Yeah.
I mean, about right now, like that predictive stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I know you guys know this. Your phone is sitting somewhere near you, and you're talking to your wife or your friend or whatever about wanting to order a pizza, and you pick up your phone, and I'll be goddamn if there's not a Domino's Pizza fucking commercial sitting on the screen already. I mean, it happens every day, folks.
Yeah,
every day. Truly,
and it's on your TV now too, bro.
Yeah.
It's not even just your phone.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not conspiracy. They literally are listening to microphones, picking up keywords, and then serving ads on the keywords they heard you talk about. It's not just a coincidence that you were just talking about mushrooms, and all of a sudden, when you turn on your phone, you've got a mushroom for mushroom soup tonight. It's not a conspiracy.
Okay, I'm serious about this question. I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts. How do we escape that? Because if we were to tie this back to the true crime world, they can fabricate a story. They've been able to do that already. How do we escape this digital theorized world where they can make your digital footprint look like something it's not? How do we get out of it?
And not only that, but it's a good question, but not only that, it's what the other thing I bitch about is the average citizen doesn't understand the science. So they baffle juries with science and basically say, you need to trust us. The science says they did it. And then the jury just goes, well, okay, you know what? I can't keep up with the science. If the science says they did it, then it must be true, because science doesn't lie. So
the only way to avoid it is to go 100% off grid, I believe, and just disappear and not be part of society. Truly. I mean,
right.
It's scary because if that's,
and here's the thing, like, people don't mention the counter side to this though. I mean, I'm going to be unpopular here, but in reality, it's in a way a good thing that I only see ads that are about shit that I actually give a shit about. I don't have to see a bunch of worthless ads, because there is a benefit to me as a consumer. I'm seeing shit that I actually care about, and they're pretty good at targeting ads to me of things that I'm actually interested in. So one could argue that's okay.
This thing popped.
What
the hell? Don't get this. Oh my God, I got titty all over my hand. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I get it. That's a crying shame right there.
Yep.
That's not right. Anyways, as with everything, there's a good and there's a bad side. I think that a lot of us, you can't get away from using technology. The technology is doing a lot of great things, but it can be used for nefarious uses, and that's what we're having problems with. And how do you draw the line? Because when law enforcement, and it's not like, I'm not trying to pick on law enforcement. When law enforcement, the judicial system uses technology against people and weaponizes the technology against citizens to put people in jail for things, that's something we don't want. Society, well, the population doesn't want. They want that.
But they already have a history of doing it. Again,
exactly.
We keep bringing up.
Like JJ's statement here.
Keep bringing up.
The world's a hurricane of fucking.
Yeah. Keep bringing up the book Framed again. One of the cases in there has to do with a forensic pathologist and a dentist, and throughout the country, it's been pretty much, it's been proven in science that you should not be allowed. Not by me. I'm not an expert in teeth and bite marks, but it's been proven by experts that teeth and bite marks should not be held. You shouldn't be able to use that.
Robin's losing her shit over watching Birdie clean up titty off of his
but here we are. Even in 2025, there are still certain states and certain courts where the judges will allow bite marks and teeth and that kind of stuff. They will allow it. And it's been proven that it shouldn't.
Oh God, The teeth mark. Remember that?
Yeah.
That framed the book. All the people that were convicted on bite marks. Yeah. Every criminal was biting people in that county because that guy had a specialty in bite marks, and so everybody was getting bit, and he could prove definitively that was the suspect that bit that person in that crime. And yeah, wow. Well, Birdie is squeezed too hard, and now
Birdie has been tittilized.
Right? Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. He doesn't even know we're talking shit about him right now.
He's been slimed.
Thank God that wasn't like. Can you imagine like if somebody had that in them? Jesus.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like he's got a hold on, Tiger.
I feel like Lee, you probably know. I know it's a little dated, and newer people. I feel like this is Nickelodeon. You can't do this on TV.
You can't do that on television.
Well, look, after watching Birdie clean up Titty off of his table, I think that's a great place to end the night. To be fair, I mean, I think how do you top that shit?
I don't know. I mean,
that's why they gave it to him. They were trying it out. They wanted to see how much pressure you could put on it, and he just proved it. Now they're going to call the manufacturer and say, "You fucked up. It's garbage. We need new ones."
Mrs. Birdie's in trouble. I'm just kidding.
I hope that your implant specialist doesn't charge a whole lot for her titties that can be squeezed till they pop.
Is this stuff okay to be on my fingers, or do I need?
I don't know. I was wondering, is it a biohazard? I don't know.
Wash your hands.
All right. Well, you guys can all watch me go into a panic attack as I chat GPT.
Yeah, you need to do some research. And if it comes
implant,
up that go see a doctor immediately.
Are your hands burning?
No.
Don't touch your face.
Well, it's not inherently toxic. Okay.
Don't touch your face.
That's good. That's a good start. That's a good start. I thought we were going to see
somebody said, Mrs. Birdie, blink twice if you need help. Okay.
Beautiful. All right, look, everybody. I think that's a great. I apologize, by the way, in a way. I apologize in a way for the people who are upset that we went all over the place with all of the crazy stuff we did. On the other hand, keep in mind that a lot of us are here every single night, and it's nice to just cut loose a little bit and have some fun. So sue me that we had a little fun tonight. I thought it was great.
We have to decompress every now and again, Lee.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Birdie brought the life to the party. Birdie comes on and the show went to shit. I'm going to blame it all on Birdie.
That's all right. That's all right. I feel like I'm sitting here. Could you imagine if we were all family at like a Thanksgiving table and us five walked in? Could you imagine? Like,
no,
they would have no idea what's about to hit them.
Mildred, I'm gonna need another beer.
Yeah, no,
cousin Eddie is here. Yeah,
I feel like especially DA. I've said this joke. I'm like, dude, you are my long lost uncle.
Right.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I'll say that much.
Love the tinfoil hat on the way out. All right, look, here's what I usually do on the way out, right? Let's close with closing thoughts. And then if Birdie wants to hang for a second, let's do this. Dago, then Birdie, then Robin, and then 1-1. Got closing thoughts for the night, Dago, with your tinfoil hat on? Hat off. Right.
I think it was, I can't take myself seriously if I leave it on. I think it was a great show. It was nice to be able to decompress a little bit. I really, really appreciate having Birdie up here with us tonight as well. I thank all of you guys for joining us here tonight. As always, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night.
Thank you again for joining us, and it was a great show. Despite there's some people that will be disappointed that we didn't stay true crime all night, but I liked the change of pace. Birdie, what do you got to say? Do you want to say some last thoughts tonight?
Yeah, couple things. One, Lee, I think what the stream was when I popped up is the reason why you and I are so close. I love that we can talk about anything at any time. I think you're an extremely smart person. I think that you have, a very intelligent brain, right? Not to be weird, but it's fun. I like this. And this is why I like you so much, is that I know that you can go to the places of not conspiracy, but you could stretch your brain to think, okay, well, this exists and this has happened in the past. Who's to say that isn't what we're witnessing right now? And in general, for the true crime stuff, I just think these type of conversations, they help the bigger picture, right? Critical thinking is important.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. And, sometimes all of us, we love bomb each other a lot because we do have a mutual respect and appreciation for what we do. You guys are all fantastic. Every one of you on the panel are here for a reason. I mean, even though Birdie's not like a panelist all the time, he fits in with this group and always has.
I love this.
It's a fantastic mix. All of you guys are amazing. I respect all of you. And Birdie and I matched up very, very early, and he helped me launch this channel in a lot of ways. So as I say all the time, thank you so much for that. And it's great that you stopped by and hung out with us, and you're always welcome on the show. Robin, let's have you say goodnight, and then we'll get one, and I'll sign us out.
Well, again, thanks for coming out, everyone. Nights like tonight are essential. The past few days have been really heavy with these pictures that have come out. We deal with this stuff as creators and the behind the scenes people and everybody. It's nothing for us to deal with this 20 hours a day, or in woman's case, he's a vampire. So, 24/7. So sometimes we need nights like tonight to just sit back a little, relax, and that kind of thing. So, but thanks for coming out, everyone. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, good or bad. We'll deal with whatever, but we couldn't do what we do without each and every one of you. And it's always a good time being here with the rest of the panel, and we love it when Birdie pops in and other people. So have a great night, everyone.
Can I say one thing quick to that point? Even though we didn't talk about true crime, I love the context of the conversation, because we're not talking about BS. Right. It's real stuff. Yeah. It's real stuff that people should know. And I just Lee, I'm going to shut up after this. You drop the link the second you see me. Yeah. I appreciate that. I love coming on this panel. I love getting done with my live. I'm making clips from my last stream, and I'll pop in and I'll see what you guys are talking about. And I love that I get a link. Like, I feel honored. And you've taken this to a different level. I mean, you're crushing, brother. Take me out of the picture. You're doing well.
I can't imagine a time that you would drop by that you wouldn't get an invite. You're always welcome on the show. It's been and I love still going on your show, and and it's so we'll keep it up. And while we didn't talk about BNS, we did talk about TNA, and so that's pretty good. I appreciate that. So we'll get one to say goodnight. What do you got here?
Great show again tonight. Thank all the meatballs and denizens. Great panel. Dago, Robin, Lee. Thanks, Birdie, for popping in. As Robin said, it's sometimes we need to take a little sidetrack to decompress, and I really enjoyed the little change of topic. So I'm glad that Birdie popped in. It was a nice refresher once in a while. I know we dig so deep into some of these cases and looking for every little detail and video and audio, and so it's a little nice change of pace, for once in a while. I will not be here tomorrow night, but I will be back on Friday. And thanks, everyone.
And I apologize. I did have the chat turned off during a lot of these closing remarks, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people were showing love to all the panelists and saying how much they love you being on the channel. And you guys may not have been able to always see those chat because I had it hidden for the closing, and I should have let you guys see it. Hopefully you're seeing a little bit of that. You guys all have lots of support in the chat, and everybody loves what we're doing here and loves the feel of the show. So with that, I will say, everybody, thank you for coming and letting us have some freedom to talk about drones and titties and silicone implants and Minority Report, predictive policing, and all that shit. It was a lot of fun. It was great. I loved it. So until next time, every night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you again tomorrow night on Crimes After Dark. Have a good one.
Have a great night, folks.
Talk about popping in.